And you were back on the Tortoise and Air experience as we're just going in, and we just heard Charade 2000.
2000.
By our guest, who we will introduce in a moment. But as always with every experience, we always started off with an experience. So who wants to go for him? And every time me and Max, I forgot your name real quick. Does that ever happen to you? You just forget somebody's name, like the right name.
Well, you know, no, I don't forget people's names because I care. But you apparently have no love for me today. Zero love.
I care too. I just forget people's names from time to time.
I'm sitting next to you.
I know but that's a hilarious part. It's just like my mind is like, I know you, so it's like, why do you have to?
Do you ever do that, like when you're having sex with somebody, you just totally forget their name? It's like,
it's usually by myself. It's usually by myself, and yes, I do forget my name.
Sad story.
But you know what? But you know what? It's funny because just recently the same thing happened to me. I was I frequent a few cantinas, bars, if you will, and I always run into the same guy. And me and him were Dodger fans, so every time we talk to each other, it's always like, "Oh, Dodgers." And then I saw him game 5, and I was like, "Don't worry, game 6 is gonna be great. We got this." And then and I'm like, he's like, and we usually see each other like once, and we run into each other. We don't see each other; we just happen to run into each other. And after the World Series, I never saw him, but we didn't see each other until like after Game 7, And to this day, I keep on forgetting his name because every time I meet him, I'm like totally fucked up, And so, a new thing that I've been doing is I've been going out and trying different bars. I don't know if you guys do this or not, but like, you frequent the same bar, you keep on meeting the same people, and it's great. But it's like high school. Like, you already met everybody, so it's just like, okay, it's time to start kind of branching out. And the girl that was always in the other school was always more exotic than the girls that were at your school. That's kind of like,
always true.
Yeah, you always saw, when you went to the prom, if the guy who took the girl from outside that had to go get the permission slip from the other school, you're like, man, that guy's bringing in some tail. You know what I mean? Always, usually.
Wasn't that like part of Grease?
Was it? I don't know.
In the movie Grease, and he goes out and he gets, Danny gets the other Latin chick, and he brings her.
Man,
and
I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember that.
No.
It's a big thing.
See, not all of us have great memories, man.
Well, apparently not.
Yeah, or that seems.
Gotta work on that.
Not,
I don't even know if I've seen Grease. I have to confess.
Shame and disgust.
If I have, it's been a long time.
You need to work on that.
I need to go back on that.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Grease,
go revisit that one? Okay.
Revisit that one with a bomb.
It's Americana. It's Americana.
It's nice.
Like,
it's nice.
Like Blade Runner.
The new
Tell
one.
me,
Has anyone seen the new one?
No, I haven't. I keep on wanting to go and see it because I don't know if like this is happening around here, but where I live now, except for Fridays and Saturdays, all the movies are like $6.70. Where I live, cheap? I think that's cheap. Yeah. All day.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's a good deal.
Yeah, all day except for Fridays and Saturdays. That's it.
Maybe not enough people are going to the movies anymore, so they're just like, okay.
Yeah, but I like to go on Tuesday. That's usually my fun day to go watch the movies. But every Tuesday I've been busy.
Right.
Late since it came out. All of a sudden,
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I did finally make it. I went with my cousins in Denver when I was visiting, and we went to an Alamo Draft House. This chain.
Alamo.
It's like,
I didn't know it was real. I thought it was only a King of the Hill.
It's like a Texan. I guess maybe it started in Austin or something, but it's cool. You can order drinks and pizza or whatever to your seat and check out the movie. And we got kicked out halfway through by the fire department. So we made it halfway through the new Blade Runner, and it was, it's a slow burn. It's a 3-hour movie, and it was just at the point where it's like really starting to get good.
Right.
And then these like strobe lights start going, and this weird robotic voice is saying, cease operations immediately. And I thought it was like
part of the movie.
I thought it was an experience. I was
cool.
like, oh my God, they've done VR. Or something. I was like, what is going on? These strobes are going off. And it's like, I thought it was this strange sci-fi world, but cease operations immediately and exit the building. Wow. So we stood outside for a while. And anyways,
did they tell you what
I've seen half of the new Blade Runner.
What was the cause?
I think it was, a false alarm, something, but they couldn't reset the system, so they gave us free passes, blah, blah, blah.
Really?
But I've seen half of it, and, it was getting good.
I'm a huge Blade Runner fan. Huge. I did a whole layout as Pris from the original Blade Runner.
Yeah, right. Okay.
That was like my thing. And
recently, or?
Yeah, you didn't see that?
No.
That's cool.
Yeah, with the whole outfit and
Right.
Yeah.
Did you post it anywhere?
I think it's on my Instagram, and there's a poster of it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, there was like a whole spread. Yeah.
Shit. Shit,
yeah,
man.
I know. You don't look at anything I do.
That is cool.
You have no idea who I am. It's fine.
Whatsoever.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Whatever.
Like, really? That's cool.
Doesn't know my name. Just comes here for the food. That's it.
Dude, great food. Great spread, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Big shout out to Max. She put out an amazing, as you always do, but for some reason, this spread was extra specially amazing.
Well, we have an extra special guest.
Oh, by the way, who's our guest? I'm not going to lie, I forgot his name, Max.
Oh, my God. That's not even true. Because it's sitting right in front of you. Ty Runyon is here in the house. Seriously, in the house.
Thanks for having me,
in
guys.
the kitchen.
Yeah. That's
Yay.
real quick.
All the way from France.
From Francois.
From France.
Were you filming there, or you?
Yes, 7 months.
Are you like Johnny Depp, where like you live there?
No. Sort of. I mean, 7 months a stretch, and we've done 3 years. So I have lived there, I guess, for a couple years total, which is amazing. But no, I'm back. I got back, a few weeks ago, and yeah.
How are you transitioning back into the American society?
I'm so happy to be home. I miss it. And I love being there, and it's amazing. As an actor working in Paris, and it's really a dream. But there's things I just miss about home, and barbecue.
They don't barbecue out in Paris?
They can't. It's not at all the same. It's not a part of the culture. It's when you're craving like a smoked brisket, it just nothing else will do. And it little things like that. And the wide open spaces too of America, just are dear to my heart. So it's nice when I come home. It feels great.
Wide open spaces. Do we still have that here in
We
America?
do, yeah. I just drove a U-Haul back from Denver, and we do indeed have some gorgeous wide open spaces.
I don't know.
And we need to.
I don't know about that. I'm going to argue that point.
We need to fight to preserve them. That's for sure. But they're there for now.
Yeah. The San Gabriel Valley Mountains. The San Gabriel Mountains. President Obama declared as like no touching land. Right before he got out.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
So,
nice.
That's great.
Yeah, he did a few last minute.
Good things.
Kind of signing off on parks and things, which was good.
Yeah, he was a good man.
Yeah.
Much respect to him. Little respect to the one in office now, but we're not going to get into politics today.
We don't do that. Everyone talks about politics. We know that's a different show.
We touched on that with Hal Sparks because Hal is very vocal in the arena.
Very.
So we did talk about it a bit.
Yeah.
But we try to stay neutral, because we're actors and we want to keep working. That's what it is. So, yeah.
Real quick, just briefly, I wanted to talk to you about your movie experience.
Well, before you talk to him about his experience, are you finished with your experience?
No.
Because you didn't even start the show.
That's right. You're right. So I was in the
floor. One glass of champagne.
Yeah. We were riffing. Yeah. Sorry. I think I interrupted.
It's fine. It's fine.
Go.
So I meet this guy. So I'm like, oh, let's go different. Like I heard about this bar. Let's go to this bar. So we've just been bar hopping lately around where I live, because there's a bunch of bars, but like we usually stick around 3 or 4 main bars. But it's just like, hey man, there's such a bar culture city that I live in. Let's go check it out. So I go into the most random bar. It's called the Rebel Yell. Just opened up.
I like that name.
And they're known for steaks. But of course I get there like at 11 o'clock at night, because I never go out anywhere until after 11:30. That's just the way my life is just set up in general. Because like that for me is like afternoon, just with my like sleeping patterns. And who do I see but this guy right there? Like I walk in, I don't know anybody except for this one guy.
Dodger Don.
Yeah, I was wearing my Dodgers stuff because I'm very particular about when I wear Dodgers. I wear it during the season, or if they win the World Series, and then I'd be all Dodgered up. But since they didn't win, I have to support my other teams. So it's usually like Kings, or this is the time of the year where you can usually catch me wearing more band shirts than anything, because I'm like I'm real weird like that. I don't know if you have those little semantics about you, those little idiosyncrasies, where it's like, like during Dodger season, that's all I'm wearing is Dodger gear.
Right. Sure.
And when they're off, then I don't wear their gear because I'm off. Type thing. Right. I don't know. Anyway, but he was in his Dodger gear. You know what I mean? And I ran to him like, "Oh, dude, what's up?" And I'm like, "Man, you always okay. This is a towel of mine, okay? And if you run into me, don't hate me, but I'm always like, dude, yeah, man. I never say your name ever. And if I do say your name, that means I'm doing 2 things. I remembered your name, and I'm saying it to remind myself what it is.
Yeah.
So it's always just like, hey, dude, yeah. Oh, we just start talking, right, about everything, about the game and everything that was going on. And so I'm with a buddy of mine, Mike, and so I sent him a text. When he's in the bathroom, I'm like, dude, I forgot this guy's name. I need you to, I need you to find out his name for me.
Nice.
I don't know if you guys have ever done that or not.
No.
No, but that's a good idea.
Yeah. It only works when you have, a partner in crime.
Sure, yeah.
And so he goes, so my buddy Mike's like, hey, dude, what's your name? And he's like, oh, my name is Raul. And I'm like, oh, my God, I can't believe I didn't introduce you. Because meanwhile, it's been 35 minutes and I've been talking with this guy, and I still haven't introduced my buddy Mike to him because I'm waiting for that one time where he goes and I could text him to find out his name. So it's like 35 minutes later. So now I have to make a big deal that, oh, my manners, I'm so sorry. I should have introduced you earlier. Like, oh,
right.
And he's like, oh, it's cool. And meanwhile, I'm like, oh, I finally got. Of course, I didn't get away with it because I'm putting it on this. But yeah. So that was funny when we were talking about forgetting names. I'm like, no, Max, like this is a real thing of mine. Like this is.
There's all sorts of tricks that you can do to remember names.
No.
Yes, there is. But I did a video once with Huey Lewis. Huey Lewis in the news.
Of course, my first cassette tape.
Yeah.
Sports.
He's like fantastic. So we did this video called "Give Me the Keys and I'll Drive You Crazy," and it was like 40 playmates and the band. Yeah. And he went around and told everybody, like we were all, kind of hanging out, and he was like, that's Susie Owens, and she likes, everything from her gatefold. He was like, telling the stats. Yeah. And he gets to me,
and he doesn't like long walks on the beach.
Exactly.
Fun fact, she's not into them.
So he's going over everybody's names, and he gets to me, and he goes, and that's Max Wassa. She was born a poor black child in the fields of Mississippi. And I'm like, first off, that was the very first thing that I wrote on my stat form when I was in the makeup chair. And they never printed that because that was, I was being funny and they thought it was, ridiculous. But somehow he had a friend there who researched it and
news.
Got that.
It was the news department.
It was embarrassing. And then he kissed me. That was not as embarrassing.
Okay, I'm sure it wasn't.
No, he's a good kisser.
Yeah, I'm sure. I hope I never find that out. But
yeah, I was not expecting it. It was in front of everybody. The cameras were rolling, and I was like, "What the hell is happening to my world?"
Now, did you grace his flowing hair Did he have his long hair at the
No,
time with
I'm
the-
pretty sure that the hairdressers, and makeup department would have had a fit.
Who
if I
cares?
touched
That's
his
their
hair.
job. It's their job to fix his hair. Mess it
No,
up.
no. He's never been on set. He doesn't know. They'll kill you in your sleep.
That's fine.
They will. They will hunt you down to just kill you.
I'll just put it on my rider. Don't kill me in my sleep. It's on my rider. Look, you can't do it. Everyone knows these things are binding, legally binding.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true. With the wigs on Versailles, the hair guy who I've been working with, Mathieu, I love him. He's amazing. The whole team is great. But they would have these sort of parties once in a while called pose. And
It's almost a party.
it's like
Pose,
it's like pot, like potluck, I think is
Okay.
kind of
I see.
the idea. But they're a work party. They're a Friday after work party. It's part of the culture. And
What do you mean work party? Like you guys go work and like drink?
It's like at the end of the day on Friday, someone in your, like, doesn't matter what you do. If you're a lawyer, an accountant, you work at Starbucks, whatever, like Friday at the end of the day, someone might have organized a little work party where you have snacks and some drinks
And everybody from work?
and you
Okay.
just stay a little late and
At
you hang
work?
out at work.
At work?
I know. It's like I know. It doesn't make
No.
sense to us,
Yeah.
but for them, they're like, yeah, cool.
I want to run out.
So like we'd have these things at the studio once in a while, and this one, they threw like quite a big party this year, and they brought in a mechanical bull. Like
What?
yeah, no. So
In
there's
Well,
France?
it is a party.
I know it was like a mechanical,
mechanical bull
bull
in France.
and I heard about this, and I was like,
Little
wow,
shocked.
that's amazing. Is that real? I thought it was just a rumor, right?
Just a-
And so I'm getting changed at the end of the day, and I look out my dressing room window, and sure enough, there's a guy operating a mechanical bull out in the parking lot.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, so I still have my wig on at this point. And I'm thinking, this is brilliant. I'm going to go out there in the wig with my like floral print shirt, hop on the bull, and do a boomerang or something. And so I run out there, and I think, I'm just going to sneak out there for 10 minutes. No one's going to notice. I get out there talking to the guy. Wow, this is so wild. Can I hop on for a bit? Oh, hey, can you get a video of me? In the midst of me riding the bull with my wig flopping
Awesome.
everywhere and, just having a blast.
That must be a really good wig. I mean, if it stood on that
It's
entire
on.
time.
It's on. Nice and tight. They
Yeah.
do a good job. In the midst of all of that, I see Mathieu come like running across the parking lot, and his face is purple, and he's just like, just like
He's like, "Monsieur!"
having a complete meltdown. And meanwhile, one of the producers is filming me, so
Right.
she's an accomplice.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes right at her and is like, well, if you want to pay for this wig, that's fine, but I need him in the chair, and I need to get that off, and this is not okay. And he is having a complete
Oh my
meltdown,
gosh.
and we patched it up. But I mean, that's just an indication. It's like
Don't.
I
mess
had
with
crossed the
hair.
line so far. I mean, there's like messing someone's hair up is bad enough. I had taken the wig and put it on a mechanical bull.
Brilliant.
This was not happening. This is not happening.
Oh
So,
man,
yeah,
have you ever been on a
I wish I
mechanical
had
bull?
a shot of his face.
No. I always go to the Saddleback Ranch though, because I like eating their eggs with like they have the steak and egg thing. It's a die for. Like do that with like a beer. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, why am I gonna go on a bull or anything right now? I'm just
Right.
gorging right now.
Right.
It's good fun.
Yeah, the mechanical bull. I don't know. It's it's tricky.
It's fun. It's
It
good
is
fun.
It's fun, but they try. I don't know if it's some of them. I guess are automated, and other ones are a guy operating with the joystick, right? So he's
Yeah.
trying to get
that's-
you to fall
that's
off.
the fun part.
He's watching
You gotta have that.
He's seeing if you're leaning a little bit far,
He's like,
too far
Well,
this way,
he
and
does
bang,
that.
he'll go the
He
opposite
does that with the
direction.
guys.
No, he does it with the girls.
Oh, really?
Unless they're like
Yeah,
down
because
for
like you
riding,
hit it
you
that
know what I
way,
mean?
their boobs are gonna bounce.
Yeah.
So that's the whole point. I used to live in this place called Fort Lauderdale,
Yeah.
in Florida, and they had a club.
course.
Yeah.
I'm like, of course, whatever it is, of course. It's Florida, of course.
Right?
Florida.
So they had a club called City Limits, and it had a room with the bull.
Okay.
And, so that was part of like you drink, you do shots, and then you get on the
And
bull.
then you get on the bull.
And,
it's a party.
and it's like you get to the point where you're riding it. It's good. And then you get up on it and you stand on it. And,
What?
You
stand on
Yeah,
it?
yeah. And then there's,
That's
girls
preposterous.
with-
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
bullshit.
Oh, no, no,
I'm
no.
calling bullshit.
I want you to look it
Stand
up.
on it.
I want you to look it up because there are videos. And in fact, I did this movie called Where the Boys Are. The second
They were
one,
riding
not
the bulls.
first one.
I'm like, were they,
And
was that where
yes,
they
yes, they did. They did a whole scene in there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
crazy.
Is
Crazy
there a
fun.
mechanical bull in L.A.?
Yes,
Yeah.
there is
Where?
over
Few.
at Saddleback in
There's one in-
Universal
yeah.
City Walk.
You-
City
just
Walk
talking-
and on the Sunset Strip.
Yeah,
There's two. There's two saddlebacks.
yeah.
Okay, well, I need to practice. There's no way I could stand on it.
It's all just
way.
It's
High heels.
rhythm.
It's all
just
high heels.
moving
It's
forward,
all the
moving
heels,
back,
man.
moving forward, moving back. Yeah, don't wear heels. That's a bad move.
You know what I love about your house, and this is only something. This is something that everybody has except a few of us. A blue bin. Do you guys? I'm a huge fan of recycling.
Sure.
I love recycling. I hate throwing things away. It really bothers me.
Yeah.
So where I live, we don't have a recycling program, and so we don't have a blue
dang.
bin. So.
That's not right.
So, but like I go to other people's houses that I know have blue bins, so I just
You store up.
all this excess.
for you,
with,
man. Good
you
for
know,
you.
That's where it comes from.
yes.
Notice
Like, holy cow.
every time you take a
Your
show,
blue
your
bin.
recycling bin's overflowing. What's going on?
So today I had a huge bag that I had,
Oh, awesome.
and I just threw it in my car, and I'm like,
Why don't you take it to the recycling center?
because that means I have to drive. So
Oh,
like, it's
okay.
not
So
part
you're
of my,
lazy,
like,
but
It's not
it's
part of
okay
your-
to like bring to Max's house and
well,
No,
yeah. I'm like, I
okay.
shoot a show at recycle. It's it's double good.
Yeah, that's
All right.
good.
I mean, as long as you're recycling, that's all
Yeah.
that matters.
No, that's great. That's awesome that you do that. It's crazy that there are still places that don't offer that service. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
That's,
And everything has a number. Everything can be recycled. So it's just like.
I'm
you know.
recycled. I'm filled with recyclables.
Okay, well, that's for our late night show.
Isn't this late?
No, this is early. Are you kidding me?
this is
This is way too early. I love it though. I don't even know why I was saying that's why I love coming to your house. But yeah, anyway,
that's why you like.
recycling.
that's because I get to
here.
recycle here. I know it's the little things in life that I find joy. I guess.
You know what I find joyous about this house in particular? This area that we're sitting at has the most unique, I want to say, unique table that we're at. And I find myself looking at it all day long and, finding the different faces in it.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
get so incredibly distracted. I'm like, I'm talking to Turtle and I look down and there's like this skull that just like,
Right,
hey,
right,
oh,
right.
I got to paint that,
No,
So
it's pretty psychedelic. You're right.
Yeah.
It's like a bird's eye maple pattern, but it's extra.
Yeah, it's
Maple.
crazy.
Extra
It's
trippy.
really, it's very trippy. I had last New Year's Eve, I had a party here, and it was supposed to be come dressed as your favorite '70s porn star,
Okay.
but somehow the porn industry found out about it, and 150 porn stars came to my party.
massive
Like
orgy.
Like retired? Like
No, no,
actually
no,
from
no.
the 70s?
Well,
Or-
some
some
Ron
were
Jeremy was
seven-
here
for-
and
for, like,
Mr. Marcus and
legit.
people like that, but it was all all the big stars from
Wow, crazy.
AVN
Okay.
and
Interesting.
yeah. So we had some fondue going because that's what you have at a
Please tell me
70s
you
party.
sanitize this table.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a
Well,
minute.
there was no
Wait
sex
a
happening
minute.
here,
Okay.
but
I thought you were gonna say we had fondue because that's what you do when porn stars come
Yeah.
over. That's just
Oh.
known
Well,
that they love
you know.
love fondue.
they
Is
do.
that-
They
okay.
love fondue.
Cool.
I
did
it's
not know
it's
that.
Well, now
it's
you do.
cheesy.
Now I do.
The things that you learn.
Whatever. So
Awareness is
I'm
expanding.
in the I go out into the living room where Mark Doty, who is how we met, and he's sitting on the couch, and I walk over and I sit down next to him and I said, are you having a good time? And he goes, yeah, I'm having a really good time. This is an amazing party. And I said, oh, it's, that's great. I said, so my kitchen's on fire. And he's like, what? And I go, yeah, my kitchen's on fire. And I said it just like that. And he gets up and he walks around the corner and he goes, your kitchen's on fire! And there was the fondue had caught on fire because all these drunk porn stars were throwing alcohol onto.
Makes sense.
Right.
They want the
They're
fire to
adding,
be
they're
really
adding some
fiery.
wine to the, to
Yeah.
the fondue mix.
Yeah.
So there were flames up to the ceiling, and it was like, madness and chaos while there was an orgy going on in the living room.
Cool.
I kid you not.
Well,
there
it's
was
not a
real
porn
orgy.
party or
Unless
porn
there's an orgy.
Yeah, everybody knows
And
that, Max.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I remind you, I
it's
didn't.
fondue
Yeah.
and orgy.
Yeah, I
Orge.
didn't.
It's orge now.
It's
It's just
I
orge.
didn't invite these people though.
That-
So I go in my bedroom and I'm just
the
crying.
industry was blanketing
like-
you with love.
Yeah.
Aw.
And then
So
my
what is-
agent calls like the next day and she goes, yeah, so the wire presses are showing all these pictures of you for AVN. What's up with that? And I'm like,
Well, you're up for an
Because-
award. Like, what?
the AVN photographers were here and
Oh, wow. Yeah,
they
yeah,
got
yeah.
they got pictures,
pictures, yeah.
and
Great.
Yeah.
and there were other big celebrities here too. So it was like, it was just a
Oh,
nightmare.
that sounds fun. Well, at least your table got spared.
Right. I was just looking. I was like, oh, is that a burn mark? And it's like, no, okay.
How many people does it take for it to be an official orgy? Is it more than 5?
4, I think. I think it's 4.
That's
Is
a
it?
foursome.
Don't look
Well,
at
yeah,
me
I mean,
like
you
I'm
should
the
know
expert.
this.
because what's
No,
the
but-
technical group sex
Yeah.
term for
But-
the subgrouping of
Right.
orgy? I have no idea.
But if I'm,
It's a lot, right?
I would
It's a
have
lot
to
of
say
people.
7.
but
I would
wait,
have to say 7.
correct me if I'm wrong, but
4 or more sounds about.
I don't
You're-
think so.
It has to be more than
It has to
7.
be 7. Yeah, for
no,
sure more than
I don't
7.
think so. I don't think
And it
so.
always has to be an odd number because it's an orgy. So someone always has to be like trying to jump into another like
I don't
sector
know.
of the orge.
Of
You
the-
know,
I don't know about that. But correct me if I'm wrong, but your show,
Yes.
Versailles.
Yeah.
which
which
you're
is-
on.
Yeah,
it
I'm
was
on it.
amazing
I'm on
on
that show.
Ovation and Netflix and all of those.
Ovation and
Yeah,
Netflix and-
Ovation.
yeah, Canal
and get
Plus in
the
France.
Ovation streaming app because you want to watch it all the time, like I do.
But it's on Netflix,
I'm
right?
addicted now.
Thank you
I'm
for that.
addicted. Yeah.
Cool.
So
But it's on Netflix.
It is on Netflix, but
It
just
does
the
a
first
second
season.
run. Yeah, and it does a second
is
run on
terrible.
Netflix. So the second season will be on Netflix. I think around Christmas.
Oh, perfect,
Yeah.
perfect. That's when I'll start watching. Right, I'm watching something else.
Right.
Yeah. So in Versailles, it was a very decadent time, and a lot of orgy-esque, things
Yeah.
happen. So you should be the expert on orgies.
No, but
Coming
it doesn't
from that
involve my
show.
character at all.
Well, I
You
know,
he
and
doesn't
I'm
get to
very
have much
disappointed
fun.
about that.
He doesn't
So
get
let's
to have much fun. He's,
let's write in about that. All
no,
Ties
but-
fans, we need you to write in and say we want to see Ty. We want to see
In the orgy
Fabian
scenes.
in the orgy scene. Come on.
Hashtag Orge Factor.
But I mean,
There needs to be an Orge Factor.
you've been
with Ty.
naked. You have been naked
Yeah,
in the show.
I have been naked
and
a
thank
couple
you for
times.
that.
Yeah. Well, my pleasure. I
Isn't it always a guy's pleasure to be naked?
No, it's
Everyone's
like-
happy, like,
Never.
hey, I get to be naked. All
No, it's
right.
funny. I was doing ADR the other day for the new season, and you spend so much time in the gym, and like I was talking earlier about the gluten-free diet and how much that helps, especially when you're working on that kind of stuff, those shirtless scenes or naked scenes, and
I was like, you can't
put
just
in-
CGI my ass.
I know. Like, come on, this day and
Isn't there a
age.
prosthetic?
No,
for
but
that?
it's a lot of work,
Yeah.
and I'm doing ADR.
ADR, real quick for the people that
Oh
don't know.
yeah, I'm doing looping. Like you go in and you
Okay.
record some
like I
some
do
audio that
after this show because you're such a moron that
there's some noise in the background
Okay.
and you have to you just have to redo one line, but they make or one word, but they make you do the whole line just
Right.
to match it. Blah
Right.
blah blah. Anyways, so I'm in this booth watching segments of the scenes with the headphone on, and one of the scenes is a sex scene or post-coital, as they call it, and I'm putting my clothes on, and I'm out of focus.
Is that good?
It's like on focus on the actress, up
That's
up
cool.
front,
No,
and then
that's
I'm
not
sort
good.
of soft focus putting my pants on, and I'm
But you-
like, I'm looking at 6 months in the gym, dieting. This is what I'm thinking. I'm like, oh, and I'm soft anyways. Like, what the hell? I didn't need to do any of that shit.
Aw,
That's
Anyways,
hilarious.
yeah.
that's a ripoff.
But
But
no,
you look good
I'm
soft. You look
terribly
good soft.
It
okay?
look good soft.
You look great soft.
No.
No, there's a shot. There's a
we
shot.
need to demand.
There's a
to
shot.
reshoot
There's
that.
a shot afterwards in focus. But no, it was just funny to notice, like, just my ego or whatever, just how much work
Right.
had gone into that. And then in the end, it's kind of like one quick moment, and I'm not even in focus anyway. So
I'm writing in.
you're
That's
writing
it.
it. Yeah,
That's
do.
it.
Yeah, write it. Bullshit.
I know. So, I stumbled onto this show with like joy in my heart because I'm addicted to everything, period. 'Cause
You like
as
period pieces?
I do.
Okay.
That's my thing. As an actor, that's like the greatest joy is to
Yeah,
go
I've-
back in time and
Sure.
and it's history, so you have to be right on the mark, and
Yeah.
I know that your show takes a little bit of liberty, but
Definitely.
but it,
Like we all
it's
speak
really,
English.
Really?
and that, I
You
was
didn't
gonna
speak
ask
English
about
back
that.
then? What are you talking about?
No, because this is France, so
Yeah.
and nobody has a French accent.
No, that was that was like, scandalous in France at the time before the first season came out, hearing that these English-speaking actors were doing their, the story of their most beloved king in English. There was outrage, but then they ended up loving the show too,
Yeah.
and they do a dubbed version. So there is a French actor somewhere.
That's you?
That's doing my voice and everyone else's. But they also show it in English with subtitles.
Do you
to
speak
the
French?
I do speak a bit.
Well, you're
yeah.
from Canada, yeah.
I
Yeah.
grew
Yeah.
up in
Yeah.
I grew
Don't
up,
you know?
I grew up in Vancouver, but actually my grandma is French and my family's American, but my grandma came from northern France to southern U.S. They were coal miners and mined coal and picked cotton and did all those.
Oh, that's so
You know.
cool.
Are you a
Really
Canucks
easy
fan or a
jobs.
Kings fan? That's.
I don't.
Are you a
follow-
hockey fan?
I don't follow hockey.
Then you're not Canadian.
Wow,
Get out of here.
you're,
You're not
No,
Canadian.
you're so not Canadian.
Passport revoked.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
No, I'm a Broncos fan. I was
Yeah.
born and raised. Just
Yeah,
like.
I'm sad for you right now.
You know
diehard-
what?
Oh yeah. Please,
Yeah.
let's not get into.
Oh no.
no.
Oh no, we
No.
will get
Oh,
into
man.
You
that
have
now.
a championship. Stop it.
I'm sorry.
If that's you have one championship that you got.
It's true.
You have
but
a few.
Like,
Actually, you have a few. Let's.
yeah, we
not-
do have a few, but
in
like
'90s and 2000s, you got one every like 10 years or so.
I mean, we had the Manning.
yeah,
know,
man,
few
the Manning
years,
era. That was a great
But
era.
it's been a rough decade, to be honest. Even though we have won a championship in that time, it was really only a 2-year window where we were really rocking. Otherwise, it's been
A little sad.
been
a little
rough.
sad for you.
Well, I'm a
It's-
Charger
But,
fan,
yeah.
so
Are
it's
you?
been
And I'm
really
sad-
great for
Oh
me.
man,
No,
I went
no,
to that
I
game.
saw that you did.
I went to that
I
game.
wanted to get your take on the StubHub Center and what like it's weird because this is my whole philosophy that going on with the Chargers. I mean, I'm a fan. I've loved them in San Diego, but then they come here to LA. They go to the StubHub Center and they start pricing their fans out because I can't afford it's $100 for a shitty ticket.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and I'm like, and granted, it's more smaller. It's a 20,000.
It's tiny.
You know,
It's like watching an NFL game in a high school stadium.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was cool. But you're right. Because of that, the tickets are.
Yeah, or an exorbitant price. So I can't go. I've been wanting to go, and I saw your Twitter, and I saw you sent a photo of you like so close.
Oh man, those are amazing
yeah.
seats. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, it was really fun, but it was brutal.
Who won
too.
that game?
Who?
Who's going to the Super Bowl?
man.
We
That
don't
was
know.
awful.
Yes, we do.
We
The
don't know who's
Eagles.
going to the
The
Super
Eagles
Bowl.
are going to the Super
know.
Bowl.
Yeah, they will.
Oh yes, they are.
I think so
That's
too.
my team.
I'd agree. Yeah, that's your team.
That's my team.
Is that your hometown?
I was born in Philly, and
cool.
and then I grew up, in Florida. So,
So
Yeah,
she goes both ways.
My heart is orange and blue, but I bleed green.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's how it is.
They are.
Yeah,
they're
and I'm a
looking
huge football
very
fan.
good. Are you? Yeah.
I'm
me too.
massive.
Yeah.
I watch All Alone, like
Yeah.
the sad little,
Yeah,
sports
that's-
chick.
No, that's my game too. I played football in high school and stuff, and that's my
What
that's my
position?
game. Free safety.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I love that. I was I was trying to be wide receiver and a few other things, and I was okay in those positions, but I remember when I switched to defense and started playing free safety, and everything really clicked at that point. I love the game, and I love my safeties. I'm
So-
always watching those guys.
When
Great.
you're over in France, because they don't know squat about American football.
No, they really don't.
Yeah, that's cool.
How did you deal with that? Like,
Actually, you know what? One of the producers lived in Boston for many years, and they were Patriots fans.
He's a Pats fan.
Yeah.
It's a Pats.
Pats fan. So his son, who was a member of the crew, Alexi, we used to talk football a little bit, but yeah, it's not a thing there at all. It's not even on the radar.
Yeah.
What's
That's
their
just
thing?
sad. That's why I can't
What's their
just
thing in
live there.
France? They're not really a sport.
Soccer.
Soccer? They're a
Yeah,
soccer
of course
thing?
soccer.
They're
Soccer.
football for them.
Right.
But yeah, soccer is huge, and I mean tennis and kind of the more
The French
refined
Open.
sports or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Croquet.
What did you call it?
No.
croquet?
Croquet.
What was your name again? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
You guys all trying to upscale it. No.
Highlight.
Highlight's fantastic.
is a French sport too, but they call it.
Highlight.
No, it's like pelota or something. It's a Basque country sport. Anyways.
Oh, Basque? What's that?
Yeah.
They make baskets? Or?
No, it's like BASQUE,
Basque.
southwest corner of the country
Okay.
on the Spanish border. San Sebastian is, in northern Spain is also Basque. So it's Spain and France is sort of the Basque region, and they have their own language. It's one of those weird languages that isn't.
Considered a language?
Well, it's considered isolated,
Right.
like Icelandic or Hungarian. It doesn't really have Latin roots, or it's kind of a language that grew out of itself.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, anyways, a little bit of French history there.
You gotta, I mean, we're big on French history here.
Huge. Bring it.
Miami.
Bring it.
Miami was like big with highlight. The Miami highlight,
Yeah.
Dania highlight. I used to
yeah.
go all the time, and when I was doing Miami Vice, we always had an episode, like a couple of times a year about something that's happening in the highlight.
You did Miami Vice?
For 4 years, yeah.
I didn't know that. Love that show.
See, thanks for knowing my resume. It's all
Yeah,
right.
I know. I
fine.
need to do my research.
But, yeah.
Oh, damn.
Where's IMDb?
Right? Yeah.
Miami Vice always made the scruff look just tough. Like I didn't even bathe today look.
Right.
But I'm in a suit.
But I'm in a white linen jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the turquoise shirt.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Love
it was
it.
so offensive. It's terribly offensive.
I mean,
to me.
I adopted a little bit of that look. I love wearing a blazer with like a V-neck. You know what I mean?
I wish you would go back to that look, because I don't know what's happening to you.
It's hot today, man.
No, Turtle he's taken on this new thing where he's like, I don't do my hair. He used to have like really short hair. And,
Very short.
Okay.
And now he's got like the whole mutton.
Yeah, I like
It's not even a mutton
great.
chops
It's
anymore.
beard,
It's a
right?
mutton chop.
Oh, it's
like one chop.
Yeah.
It's a near beard.
It's a
Yeah.
It's
I-
a
I-
beard.
I
It's
call it
beard-esque.
chops,
It's chops.
I've had chops for a few years now. To be
It's
fair,
like-
to be fair, I've had chops for a few years.
Yeah, you have.
Now-
But now it's like,
It's coming together finally.
It's
I
mean, it's a whole look.
I was out drinking it. This is another reason why I love going to just random bars, because like nobody believes that I exist until like I show up. Like how could this actually like be real, right? And I'm just there, just at a bar, just drinking, and some guy just randomly walks in. He's like, "I want to just party with you, man."
That's so cool.
He's like, "I just want to stay here, just party with you." I'm like, "All right."
Is Elvis your dad?
Yes.
No, it's impressive actually. I thought it was a beard, but now the closer I look, it's not connected, just in the middle. So those are serious chops, man.
Yeah,
sure.
and
Those
it's
are
a chop.
It's a chop.
It's a chop gone wrong.
It's a chop.
I'm trying to do that hashtag chop life. You know what I mean?
No.
See what happens. See
Do
what-
you do all of that, the hashtagging?
I do every now and then. You know what I mean? Just because I find it hilarious that hashtag is essentially a quick paragraph. It's a word, but it's really a paragraph. You know that in actually, you know, if I can tell you guys something actually, and this is, I hate doing this, but this is like, you know, you guys know that I do comedy and stuff, but whatever. So I was talking about, you know, how as a society, how I don't know if we're evolving or we're devolving, because we've essentially become Egyptians.
With glyphs.
Yes,
right. Okay.
You know what I mean? Their hieroglyphics,
right?
You know, are essentially emojis.
Right.
You know, like they had it right before us.
We have
You know,
everything right, always.
we were last. You know what I mean?
You know, pay attention to us more.
We were last on the whole table thing. You know. Well, yeah, you guys did have a Scorpion King too, so that was really cool. Who knew?
Right.
Who knew? So yeah, you know, but like much like the ancient Greeks, I still need an interpreter sometimes, you know, to figure out what emoji to send or what emoji is coming to me, you know, and that just reminded me of just our society.
Are there emoji classes that you can take?
I want to make emoji classes immediately because people use the purple squash very indiscriminately. You know
I get that
that's
a couple
a good
times
one.
a day.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Like, why are you sending me
like,
this purple squash? What does this have to do with anything?
Right?
No, I love
Can be
emojis.
very
I
offensive.
love them.
Do you have a favorite emoji?
Yeah, the like, you know,
The horns up.
the horns up, lightning bolts. Those are
You're
two
just a rocker
classics.
at heart.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
definitely.
I'm the classic thumbs up for yes
Oh yeah,
or
thumbs
okay.
up. Thumbs up is pretty good.
And I just like to throw bacon every now and then.
Right.
I'm like, you know what, this conversation needs bacon, and I just throw bacon.
Yeah, I like the flames and the like. I'll throw in a random like cactus or robot once in a while. It's
Cactus and a robot together.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You don't have to have it.
Oh yeah, for
Okay.
sure, man. Just like you just pull random combinations and it's fun. I love it. I resisted it at first. I thought it was like my friends started sending me the thumbs up thing and stuff. I was like, what is this? I resisted it. I don't know, and I don't know why.
Do you ever send it
I
at
love
the
it. I love it
wrong
now.
time and inappropriate time, and you're like
Thumbs
huge
up?
thumbs up, and it's
Well,
like,
I
wait a
noticed
minute.
that like it's
does he mean
reacting.
by
You know,
that?
you can hit that like reaction button.
Oh yeah, you
And-
could slam it. Or
You know,
like,
yeah, and it's like one of them is it looks like smiling, but it's actually when it animates, it's laughing hysterically.
Oh wow.
So I've
that's
sent
cool.
that on accident a couple times, thinking like I'll just send a smiley face like yeah, cool, or like that. And in fact, it kind of looks like I'm laughing at someone. Like someone will have just written something really like sweet and nice, and instead I'm just like howling
Yeah,
at them.
great.
You know, I didn't mean that. I thought it was a smiley face. Like
Bacon
Yeah.
Bacon,
emoji. Bacon emoji.
bacon.
Sorry, bacon.
Sorry,
Bacon.
bacon.
I remember
Robot cactus.
when those little like what are they called, the things that Avatar, the Avatar
Oh
that you
yeah,
would
yeah.
have.
Your cartoon.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
your
You-
cartoon
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And I remember when those
I haven't
first
done
came
that
out,
yet. I haven't
yeah,
done that
this
yet.
it's kind
I don't
of
have
like
that kind of time.
it's weird, but there was one and it had like a little penguin and it said MILF, and I said to my daughter, I'm like, this is so cute. Look at it. It's I don't know what milk MIL,
MILF.
but maybe they spell milk wrong, but it's so
Yeah.
cute.
Maybe
And
they
she's
spelled
like
milk wrong.
Yes.
laughing at me. She's like, "That's right, Mom. That's right. You're a MILF." You know? I'm like, "What are you talking
You're
about?"
totally milk. You're totally milk.
Like I had a shirt. It said milk. She's like, "That's offensive." I don't know these things. I need a
That's
book.
funny.
I need a course. You need to teach the course.
I would be the wrong person. I'm like, okay, guys.
No, but then
When
it'll
you
be
tell
the best.
Bacon.
When you
And
tell,
Just bacon, triple bacon.
you don't know what to do, and then you slam the bacon.
Slam the bacon.
What happens if I have an Android? You find the Android app for Slam. I don't know if there is one. There has to be. I can find it. Come on, people.
Good.
Somebody has to do it.
Okay,
You know
wait.
what?
Do you know? Just circling back. Do you know my friend John Deal
John Deal.
from Miami Vice?
What did he do?
Oh, he was one of the detectives in Miami
Okay.
Vice. Anyways.
There was a lot.
Was there just Stubbs and
It's
Well,
Tubbs.
Stubbs and Crockett?
It's
Yeah.
Tubbs. It's not Stubbs.
Oh yeah, Tubbs. Wait, Stubbs?
I thought it was
No,
Stubbs.
Yeah, I
was
thought so
Stubbs.
too.
Stubbs and
It's
Crockett.
been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not.
And
Replaying it,
Miko's
you know.
been on our show.
Yeah.
Edward James Olmos' son, Miko,
Okay.
who's he played Lieutenant Castile
Okay.
on
yeah,
the show,
yeah.
and his son is a director now. And
really?
Was that the
uh,
same one that was
and
in
bass
Battlestar
player.
Galactica? Or-
No,
that's a different
No.
one.
He's in the new Blade Runner.
he is. Well, he's in the old Blade Runner as well.
Well, he's in the old Blade Runner, but he makes a.
He's in
Yeah,
all the Blade
he's in,
Runners.
He's in everything because he's, perfection as a character actor.
Yeah, he's great.
He really
He's great,
is.
yeah.
James Hong and, Edward James Olmos. That's all you need in any film. That's it.
And me.
No.
You throw in me.
You don't need you because the camera
And you'll
can't-
know it's me because I'm just in one random scene. I just happen to be carrying bacon. I put like
There's
the whole
a
thing.
hairdresser running after you.
I'm like, I'll look into the camera. BLT. Would you like that BLT? Extra bacon,
this?
please. Experiencing dogs, Arrow, right now. I think this might be the only show that actually has like a live dog
Of
in
course
it.
I know him.
You know him.
Right now, Max and Ty.
Oh, sorry, we're
they were
back
talking-
on air.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
Back on.
It's John Deal.
John
Hi,
Deal.
John Deal.
This is who I was talking.
Yeah,
Oh my
off air they
goodness.
were talking about.
And
Great
I think
guy,
I did
great
other
guy, great
movies
actor.
with him as well. So
I'm sure.
that's even crazier.
It's a small world.
It is. Well, the acting world is extremely, extremely small, as well as the music world and the comedy world. Because we all move in these little circles, and it's kind of this like elite little
circus.
bizarre-
Elite.
I mean, elite in the way of
Get the
that
fuck out of here.
it's stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was funny.
Segregated.
Segregate. That's
That's
a better word. That's a better word.
It's
Yeah.
a way better word.
It's true. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when I was doing Miami Vice, I was a kid. I was a kid actor on that. It was like my first episodic television.
Right.
And, I was like, what's happening here? And it started with Michael Mann in the first season, and then it switched directors every episode.
Okay.
So they would have.
But he was still producing?
He was producing.
Right.
Yeah, it was his oversee. But there was also all these different people came in,
new
and
directors,
as
yeah.
an actor, that was like the best training ground that you could have.
Right, to work with so
know.
many different people in
Yeah.
a stretch on
And
this.
my
project.
character like switched every week. I played something else, so I didn't have like a defined character. My trailer said Max the Hooker.
What?
Yeah, that's what it said. So every week, it was
be
a
hooking.
different
So
one.
you were playing different sort
Different-
of
yeah.
characters,
Ladies of the
like
night?
Ladies of the night. Is that what
I
the-
did several times, but because
How'd you do? How'd you make out?
Well, we'll talk about that
Is
later.
there 401k? I mean, with the
I wonder if there is. We have to research that.
Yeah. I will
Talk to some of the ladies.
Yeah, I'll
See
research
if
that
they have a program.
immensely.
and speaking of Ladies of the Night, have you seen The Deuce?
I haven't seen that.
HBO. Oh, it's good.
I
Yeah.
haven't.
It's really, really good. And if you would like, if you love period pieces, I mean, I completely agree that as an actor, I love period dramas like Boardwalk Empire, The Deuce. Is
Curb Your
seen that one.
Enthusiasm. Period.
Curb, exactly.
Total period drama.
But yeah, no, The Deuce is great.
I'll check it out.
Definitely to
Binged
see that
that one.
one.
It's on the list of things to watch.
Stranger Things.
I already saw it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Finished it
Yeah.
last night.
You know, this
Amazing.
This is gonna. This is no. If you haven't seen it or whatever, this is nothing. Sean Astin. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a
Loved
little
him. Loved
here's
him.
Right.
a
Yeah.
little bit of something that you might not know. The other actor that was up for that role was Corey Feldman, and
Yeah.
Corey's
Same era.
brother, who
Right.
just walked through the door, Eden, is
Oh, okay.
here.
Oh, really?
But Sean
Yeah.
Astin. I'm like,
Sean
Sean
Astin.
Astin. Dude,
Sean did a fantastic
So-
job. What a
Yeah.
great
So
character. I
lovable.
love him
So
in everything.
lovable. Yeah.
He's fantastic.
I loved his character. I was so.
Yeah.
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 This is not saying anything about blah, 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 anything, but Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean
Yeah.
Astin.
Sean. Sean.
And
Astin.
when I
No,
saw
the
him, I
whole
was like,
season.
yeah.
Do you guys like it?
I
Yeah.
love
The new
him.
season?
I thought
I
it was.
love it.
Yeah.
I thought it was
That's
better than the first, and that's tough
Really?
because the first,
Wow.
I was a staunch. The first season, I was staunch. It's perfect. Just
Yeah.
end it,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
fine with it.
Right.
And then this season came, and then it ended, and I'm just like, okay, end it. Perfect.
Don't even-
Just don't mess it up. It's on a great It was so fun, and I tell everybody the same thing. Is Stranger Things was the first true binge watch that I ever did, because I was able to get it in one day,
Right.
and
Yeah.
just boom, knock
Yeah.
it out. And
Right.
that's what I did. I waited for the right time. When the second season, I was in one of those. Oh my god, it's out right now! I'm watching it right now.
That's what
I
I
waited.
did. Yeah.
until it
You
came
waited.
right. Until it was right in time where I had that.
Where your schedule opened up and you could just.
boom.
Boom.
You know,
I had
I did the
food
exact
ready,
same thing.
lunch,
Nice.
breakfast, everything.
Oh, amazing.
It was just
Oh, man.
it's such
Yeah.
a talented
So good.
cast. Those kids are everybody in the cast.
Everybody
but those kids,
Yeah, the
they do
kids are really-
everything.
Winona
If you,
Ryder,
like,
man, this is her comeback.
Matthew
Oh, really?
Modine. I did a movie with Matthew and called Vision Quest back in the day.
Oh, yeah,
and when
okay.
he was all like buff and stuff. So it was very strange for me to see. It was a Stranger Thing.
Which one's Matthew Modine?
He's the
In the first season, the doctor, the bad doctor.
Yeah.
Who,
Paul Reiser, by the
Paul
way.
Reiser.
Oh my God!
I know, and I love how they used him so wisely, because it's like right away you're like, oh my God, don't trust that guy. He's like, bad things happen with the aliens. Don't listen to him. He seems really likable and like really trustworthy, and he's not.
I don't even like Paul Reiser in real life. I'm so afraid of him. I'm like, sorry, Paul. I'm
Right.
sure you're a great guy, but I can't trust you, man.
Yeah, he seems like a good guy. But they use.
Yeah.
I think like part of the genius of that show is just how perfectly pitched the casting is, because and the style of
so
acting.
Yeah.
down.
Like it's
down
not.
pat.
It's legitimately 80s style
Yeah.
acting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's not
Well,
just the
it's more
wardrobe and the art
end
design.
of the 70s,
but-
early 80s.
Yeah, but that kind of where the kids are always yelling,
Mm-hmm.
acting.
Yeah.
Come on, we gotta go. No, and it's like total Goonies, E.T.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Every actor in it, I think, is just like pitched so perfectly and
yeah. It's great.
in that era, and right down to the style of acting that's happening on the show, and that must be that has to come from the creators.
Yeah.
Is my guess.
Nah,
the special
no, it's
effects.
all from the actors.
You
It's all
know.
from the
The special effects, the little things that they have done in this, like the pumpkin patch. Man, the pumpkin patch with the flies.
Yeah.
It's like I do a lot of horror, and
Right.
that scared the bejesus out of
Yeah,
me.
right,
I
right,
had
right.
like nightmares, and I don't have nightmares because I lucid dream and I can, move in and out of my dreams. But that messed me up for like days.
Yeah, it was,
Totally.
It was. I found
I was
this
smelling
season
it.
scarier than the first.
I was like, these flies are gonna be the healthiest flies in the world. All they're eating is pumpkin. It's like,
But are they?
are they? Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's their flies. That's what they do. They
Yeah,
eat.
but I mean, are they really flies? We don't even know that yet.
You think those were all
yeah.
stunt fake flies?
We don't know where those
Well,
flies.
yeah,
I
but-
believe they had those classically trained flies come in. These are Shakespearean
These are
flies.
Shakespearean flies.
Came in,
Yeah.
landed on the pumpkins, and
They're
they were
from
just-
France.
They're like, no, pretend to be flies.
They're real from France. They're not those Canadian actors playing see the things that happen on the Tortoise and Hare Experience.
Oh yeah, by the way, you're on the Tortoise and Hare Experience.
Yeah, thanks for introducing the show. Even
I did at the very beginning. It was it was just a real quick.
We didn't talk about my experience. We didn't talk about Ty's experience. We talked about no experiences. We're just like, damn.
We're just having a great time. We're just having a great time.
As it should be.
It's the champagne.
Yeah. It's not champagne.
It's
not from the region of Champagne.
Right.
This is the region of California.
And we do not promote drinking.
I do though
on our show.
Max doesn't.
And if you're going to drink, please drink responsibly. And if you're going to drive, don't.
Unless you're in LA, because it's all traffic. So
you're going to sit there until you sober up, probably. But, but it's not a good idea.
No.
There was a terrible accident I was watching last night on the news where somebody came the wrong way on an entrance and took out a family. It was terrible. And
way to bring it down, Max.
Well, I know, but recently we lost a couple of our friends.
Yeah.
In the same fashion with somebody drinking and going on.
Is that okay? I didn't know. When friends die in those things, I don't want to know the details. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, that's what happened.
But thanks. Yeah, I didn't. Wow.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Max.
Bringing it down. And speaking of bringing it down, for a second, I have to address something because my fans have gone off.
Sure.
In the past 24 hours about this subject. Yes, I did say rest in peace to Charles Manson because, and for those of you out there who don't know, Charles Manson, the notorious murder of Sharon Tate and Rosemary and Lena LaBianca and others. Terrible time in American history and ruthless person that he was. I believe, as a galactic citizen, that you have to wish everybody peace. His kind of peace is not going to be the same as ours when we pass. And
did he get the chair? Did they chair him, or
no?
Did
he died. He died of natural causes because in California we do not have the death penalty.
Okay.
So
I didn't know that.
Well, you should bone up on facts around here.
No
laws.
Who needs facts these days?
You're like, go drive, drive, whatever.
It'll be fine. Live your life.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on that? When somebody dies, do you think that they should rest in peace, or should he go rot in hell, and you should say terrible things about him?
Yeah.
I
don't know.
I kind of think you should just wish the best for, we're in peace now that he's gone. And, as
well, I think to me it makes sense in, thinking about the turmoil that he must have been in to inhabit that body and to think in those terms. And that must have been, hell on earth. So to me, it kind of makes sense that now he's passed. It's almost like thinking, well, the evil that was within him has passed as well. And so that is a peaceful thing, or a more peaceful
notion.
Yeah. And he does have two kids. So, you want to wish them the best. And when I did House of Manson and I played Rosemary LaBianca, I did a lot of research and, even going over the autopsies and how brutal it was for Rosemary. And, because I wanted to be very precise, in doing a period piece and a historical piece, you want to be very correct in how you're performing that character. And I wanted to show a lot of respect. But after I was done being stabbed 47 times, I laid on the ground with this pillowcase over my head and bloodied and, and seriously bloody because one of the stunts had gone wrong and I got cut up. But I wept deeply for, all of these victims and for Rosemary and the love that she had for Leno and, the amount of passion she had for him being murdered in the other room. So it's like, now that he's gone, I feel almost a freedom, you know,
Right.
like it was me, you know, and
Right,
now
there's a
Rosemary and all of these people can finally rest in peace.
Right. Yeah. No, I get that. There's a release.
Can they rest in peace? He's now up there with them.
No. They're in heaven and he is someplace opposite.
Right. I mean, it's
Yeah.
yeah. I do understand. When I was reading a lot of like Good Riddance and comments like that, I get that. Of course, yeah. I mean, write what you feel. You know, it's
He was a very
it all makes
polarizing
sense.
figure. He was a very polarizing figure.
Of course,
you know.
yeah. Well, that's true. Some people kind of still idolized him even
So
after,
many.
you know, with his like the music he was making in prison, and I never quite understood that, but myself. But
Well,
yeah,
there's
some people
a
still
definite
idolize him.
fascination with serial killers and, you know, and all.
Right.
And
That Dahmer movie's coming out. I want to.
oof.
You know, I really don't know how to feel about like when those movies come out like that, because you know it's like one, you know, it's like everyone's curious about it, but I'm like, dude, you know, like we shouldn't not highlight that, but I don't know. I just, you know, like I know we all have a fascination. I'm fascinated, but
Sure.
but at the same time, I'm just like, am I only adding to what we shouldn't be adding to in society by going to see this?
Right,
You know,
right. Are we? Yeah, and kind of that fascination. It's a bit more like an adrenaline rush. It doesn't really feel like. I never feel like my soul has been fed after I watch a true crime, you know, Dateline or something. I feel like I've been on a roller coaster, and you're kind of left with that like adrenaline high, and you know, kind of a like empty feeling or a little bit spooked out.
Yeah,
maybe
it's true
but
scary.
It's
like,
true scary, and like I don't know too much of that. I mean, personally, I can't handle too much of that. I'm a softie. I like, you know, it's yeah. Sometimes it's a bit too much.
You know, it's I have my own personal serial killer whole story, and it's difficult for me. I didn't talk about it for many years. I tried to erase that part of my life and everything that happened with it until I was on the radio once with my daughter standing right next to me, and somebody had done some very deep, you know, deep digging.
Right.
How do you say this in English?
Yeah.
And they brought it up, and I was stunned, but I had to face, you know, the question and talk about it, and you know, it brings back all of those memories from that time. And because he had killed 8 girls that looked like me, it was like, you know, very heavy on my heart. And there's since been several film companies come and want my story about it, you know, because the story's been done on his side, but now they want my side. And I don't know if I want to tell that story again.
for $5 million, I'll tell that story.
Well, but, you know,
I'll be Max. Me portraying Max Wassa.
I know, right?
Like,
It's more than that, though. It's because, you know, it's like all the violence that he did, it's going to keep going. But we should talk about it from, like, you know, the victims' side and with respect to them, instead of, you know, the Jeffrey Dahmer, who he was. Let's talk about who they were. And,
Right.
And, you know, and the tragedy that, you know, affected their lives.
Yeah, no, I get that. Do you think that part of the reason that there is that fascination to know what Jeffrey Dahmer was thinking, who was that person, is because it's so unfathomable?
Yeah.
That we want to know why. We want to know
Why is it unfathomable?
Is it?
I mean,
I don't
that.
know, but I'm
you know,
I'm asking the question, like, is that kind of why story gravitates toward that
I think it's that
perspective? Is it because we want to rationalize, like, how does a human being get to this place? We want to understand. I mean, maybe.
But there's whole communities, there's whole cultures that are cannibals. You know,
But
so,
that's
you know,
that's different though. They're not hunting somebody down. You know, it's like if someone
But
dies, all right,
we don't
all
know
eat 'em, you
in
know?
his mind
Right.
if he thought he stemmed from that, and that was like he was connecting to that community. Like, you know, Madonna all of a sudden has a British accent. We don't know.
All of a sudden, although she's had that
You
for
know.
like 8 or 9 years now.
You
Th-
know,
that's
but I'm
right.
saying, like,
There are
you know,
people growing
she's-
up.
I forgot about
he-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are
He
people born
associates.
right now that think Madonna is really
She
British.
is British.
Right.
Yeah, she's
That's
smart.
right.
She's,
Johnny Depp,
Yeah.
who's got a French accent now.
Right.
And I
Oh,
grew
does
up
he
with
really?
him in Florida. So, you know, I'm pretty sure he never
Does
had
he
that
really
before.
have an accent?
Oh, yeah, he's
wow.
totally with the little accent.
he can get away with anything. Let's face
How
it.
long has he lived over there?
I think he goes back and forth because he's got a place over here on Sunset.
But doesn't he also have an island too?
You know,
Has to have an island.
Yeah.
he
You're-
should have an island.
Look, where's
That's
your
what I
island?
want. I know. Hey,
Get
I
it
got
together,
one.
Ty.
It's an island in the desert.
I need you to get an island. You haven't made it as an actor until you've gotten an island. Okay.
I don't know. I'm,
Or you fly your
to
own jet
me,
plane.
I just remember him as a little punk kid that his band used to open for my band, and
Right.
you know, and we did a movie together. But that's I don't think of him as like Johnny Depp, this big star. I just think of him
Right,
as this
right.
little punk ass kid that I want to punch in the face and have.
You punched him?
and have?
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
Well, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
what was his band called? P?
The kids.
The Kids. Did he have a band here in LA too
Yeah.
for a while? It was
I'm
like-
sure he did. He's been in. Well, he's in the Hollywood Vampires
Yeah.
right now
Oh,
with
okay.
Alice and
okay.
Joe Perry and all the greats. Yeah. He's he's a respectable musician. I can't knock him on that.
I believe it.
So, real quickly, Thanksgiving is already passed. And what do you guys have? What's your go-to? Like, whenever you go to a Thanksgiving thing? Do you guys have a go-to? Or
Do you mean like a go-to food item?
yeah, that you
Or
bring
that
because
you bring?
like because you're like the in this scenario where all the pilgrims, like bringing
Right.
something.
you got to do a pilgrim dish.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hadn't thought of that. That's an idea. I usually bring barbecue, like pulled pork or something like that.
To Thanksgiving.
I'm sure on the Mayflower they were just like, "Where's our barbecue to get the pulled pork for this Thanksgiving feast?"
Let's see. What did we do last year with our neighbors? I think I did. Yeah, I did a smoked mac and cheese. And
Tell me more.
yeah, we did some. We did like a kind of a southern thing, Yeah, it was good.
I'm the vegetable guy. I love.
You do the veggies.
I do the veggies.
Yeah, nice.
Just because people like. Don't get me wrong. I like that little vegetable tray that they sell at the market. It's fun, but like it won't feed like 100 people. It'll feed like 4 people, And what I like to do is I like to go and I like to buy the vegetables and then cut them myself. It's more liberating. It's more. I don't know. I get really excited about it. And this year, what I did was I go to a lot of Dodger games and I buy nachos and I save the helmets.
Oh yeah.
So this year I did it with all the vegetables in a Dodger helmet.
Oh, cute.
As
Yeah,
my
that's cool.
that's my party tray. I was like, oh, this is my because usually I do like a big. I go and I buy a foil tray and do it kind of like that. But this year I wanted to make it more like if the Pilgrims were fans of baseball, they would have been a Dodger fan.
Right.
Would have eaten out of plastic
and
cups.
if they would have eaten out of plastic helmets, obviously. So I was all excited. I was like, "Oh my god, I get to use these plastic things!" Finally,
Yeah, that's good. I like that. That's a
fun.
good idea. I don't know.
Max, what do you bring? You probably bring the wine, the booze.
No, I cook the entire meal.
Really?
Yeah.
You're that person?
I'm that person.
You want to be the star?
No, I don't. But people are like, "Oh, Max cooks," so we're gonna go to her house, and that's
Yeah,
what
good.
happens. I always
yeah.
have like the misfit Thanksgiving or Christmas. Or,
Right. So
I'm
do you
gonna
do a
cook-
turkey?
I'm gonna
Is
cook a
that-
dog this year.
Do it.
My cook a dog. Oh, arrow. You do the turkey thing.
I do all of that.
Classic,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Well, and I have like little, Middle Eastern tradition kind of
neat.
stuff that I throw in, like
Right, right,
flavoring.
right.
So it's which has nothing to do American Thanksgiving, but that's what my mom did. Or
Right, cool.
actually what Art Cook did
like-
that I
yeah.
did.
Well, we do, like when we do family Thanksgiving, we normally do like a big roast beef, or it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be turkey.
Ham.
And ham,
Yeah.
you know, but I mean, the
gotta get a
staples are
snack for
probably
him.
probably
no
the
attention to-
stuffing and the,
Oh, yeah.
you know.
I was never a big fan of stuffing until fairly recently. Like I'm talking like a year or two ago. I just became, and I'm not saying like I'm a huge fan. It's just I'll throw a little bit now on the plate. Like I'll be like, okay, you know,
Right.
I'll try this stuffing out, but
Yeah.
it's nothing that I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait for this stuffing.
Right.
It's just too bready.
I don't
it's
eat
way
any
too
of the
bready.
stuff that I cook. Because, you know.
How do you know that
I'm-
you did it right?
Well, I'm a good cook. And I cook by smell rather than by taste.
You don't taste.
No,
By
I
smell.
can't because I have food allergies.
Oh, okay.
So,
So you'll cook stuff that you're allergic to. and-
yeah.
Right. Wow.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I cook like that all the time. I used to have a cooking show, and it was all Northern Italian, and
Really?
I don't really eat Italian because I don't eat pasta.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I know.
Missing out.
Crazy,
Yeah,
isn't that crazy?
I love Northern Italian.
I love Italian. Period.
Italian.
Doesn't matter if
period.
it's from northern,
Yeah.
southern.
That's
Yeah.
my gig right now.
Right.
You know, I love cooking it. I love the smells of it. I love
Mm.
when people are enjoying it, but I don't consume it myself.
Yeah.
I'm into cooking Indian right now for some
Right,
bizarre
right, right.
reason. Yeah.
No
I don't know.
complaints.
I just like to
Indian.
cook.
Yeah,
I
that's-
like
that's cool.
I like to cook. I like people to like sit
I do
around,
too.
talk, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Vibe out.
yeah.
No cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
me,
I love
cooking has always been experimental. It's okay. Let's see what happens when we combine these two flavors.
You
Right,
haven't
sure.
made
It's
the
fun.
turtle dip in a long time,
Yeah.
and I'm really upset about
The
that.
turtle dip.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's hear
It's
about
really
this.
good.
I call it Turtle Island.
Yeah.
Yeah. For a while there was. This is gonna sound super stupid, but like, and I just sounded super LA right now.
So super.
Yeah. There was actually like some people were actually considering to like make it as a real thing. I mean, it's a real thing because I make it, but you know, it's just my version of Thousand Island, but I call it Turtle Island.
Okay.
You know, and it's the only thing that like Max loves that I do. You know, and I haven't made it in a long time just because
Because I always feed him, and then he's
Yeah.
like,
Right. Right.
well,
right.
there's
Selfish.
that, and I don't have a kitchen where I live. You know,
Okay.
So for that, I would need a kitchen.
Yeah. You need
just
a
to
kitchen. Yeah.
just
yeah.
assemble everything.
Right.
It's not the crazy like you know crazy thing to do. It's just I need big bowls. I don't have big bowls where I live. I have just like a cup. You know, like
Where do you live?
I just
have a cup?
It sounds
yeah,
so
it's-
terrible.
it's
You
like I have a-
camping?
no, I mean I have a studio
Right.
room,
So you're like, yeah.
but there's no kitchen, so I had
Right.
to create
so you
my own
need
kitchen.
minimal.
Yeah, I have just a thing
Got
for
it.
hot water, and so I have a cup that like if I need to make oatmeal or anything chicken, whatever, I just pour it in there, pour the hot water, boom.
Gotcha.
You know, I have a little like a bowl like this big that where it's like I put noodles in, I just put hot water and then let them steam overnight.
Okay.
You know, then they grow and expand and become like super noodles.
Right.
You know, and then I can add. I have a
Like
little
sea monkeys.
Yeah,
I would die without a kitchen. I wouldn't know what to do.
I don't know how I've made it this far. For a while, I was a huge crock potting fan. Huge.
Oh,
I
yeah,
just didn't
yeah,
have
right.
30 hours in a day. Just you
Sure.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
to
yeah,
wait
yeah.
for one
To wait
meal.
for one meal. Yeah.
But you
Sure.
can do that the night
slow cook.
before, and then you know.
I can't because then I'm smelling it and I'm sleeping. You know, and it's
Yeah.
like
Right.
because
It keeps you up.
Yeah, because it's literally like my kitchen is like literally like right next to me, so it's like there's no like room for
Right.
delicious smells while I sleep.
Right.
You know.
Well, I'm a big barbecue guy.
Oh.
I fell in love shooting in North Carolina with, Carolina barbecue. And so I've got my smoker in the back, and I'll do a 20 plus hour smoke. And I have like a baby alarm type thermometer that sits beside my bed so that if the temperature drops or peaks above, the sweet spot, the alarm will go off. So it's like a radio
Oh,
transmitted
Wow.
thermometer.
nice.
Crazy. Yeah, I'm
You're not-
obsessed.
are you
I'm a
ta-
nerd. I'm a barbecue nerd.
Are you talking in through the baby monitor? Don't worry, it's
Sweet, sweet pulled pork.
12 more delicious hours.
There. Shh, back to bed. No, it's crazy,
Oh,
but
that's
that's
amazing.
my cooking obsession is barbecue, and I do my own sauces, and you know, I do include, like you would dig it. I include some Indian spices and some Middle Eastern kind of
Yeah.
flavors with my barbecue sauces. I'll
Do you do it as a wet rub or?
no, I do.
dry rub?
I do a dry rub for the smoke and the cook, and then I have sauces for after. So
Yeah.
you know, and my Kansas.
And when are you making this for us?
Yeah, I know.
Right.
I need to. Well, Thanksgiving. No, I've got like a
But
kind
that
of
already
Kansas
passed, so it would be next year.
next.
No,
year's.
no, you,
Christmas.
next year's.
you haven't heard. I'm
Thanksgiving.
trying to create Bros Giving.
Bros Giving?
really-
Yeah.
When's that?
That's anytime right after Thanksgiving. You know, that week, and you're still. You know, you're
Hey, that's cool, and you
Saturday.
still have you have leftovers.
no,
And
no.
you
You
have
go
your-
get
no.
steaks. It's Bros.
Oh yeah, it's Bros.
You go get steak. Fuck the turkey, dude. This you
I
get
thought you were
steak.
like, I thought it was like Bros Giving is like, hey, everyone, like bring together their leftovers and let's
That's
watch
so
the
funny.
game.
No,
No.
it's we're gonna go out of another
You're gonna
party.
go for steaks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. I'm in.
Sounds like
I'm
my
in.
brother would do that.
Yeah.
One of my brothers is the GM at Ruth Chris.
Okay.
Which
Yeah.
is like, you know.
Oh, my cousin worked there for a while.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, in
Oh,
Denver.
Sweet. Yeah,
got
I know
kicked out
it.
of
I
the
know the
prison.
chain.
good.
I know
You
it.
know, I'm not a big like meat person all the time. I do it like, you know, every few months because that's what the doctor said I should do.
Right.
And, you know, if I could, I would be vegan.
I wouldn't.
Those
you
are for
could.
my
I
PETA.
wouldn't.
Those are for my
If you
PETA
could,
friends.
if you could,
Yeah, because I'm allergic to a lot of like fruits
A
and
lot of the-
vegetables. So
really?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. And my friends over at Sun Cafe, which is the best vegan
Delicious.
restaurant
Delicious.
it called?
anywhere. Sun Cafe. It's
Sun
in
Cafe.
Studio City,
Oh, cool.
and
check it out.
it's seriously the best. Their mac and cheese, you would
Uh-oh.
never know the difference between like
Sold.
vegan. And
Sold.
they make it with like cashews instead
Yeah.
of cheese.
You
It's
just
like,
had to say mac and cheese. I'm sold.
Yeah.
Even if
it's
it's fake.
brilliant. It's so
I'll
flipping
eat
good.
it.
It's so good.
Wow.
But
Cool.
Ron, the owner, would go, I don't know what to make for you because you're allergic to everything. So
Right,
it was
right,
a
right.
challenge, and he came up with several recipes for me.
That is challenging. So is it nightshades?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
nightshades is
mostly,
one thing?
Yeah,
Yeah. That
yeah.
that
I'm
can
just
be
I'm
kind
an
of
allergic
common.
kind of girl.
Okay.
I'm allergic to turtles.
What?
Just ones with a mutton chop.
That's the variable, the mutton chops. That's what gets me in. It's like a turtles, but not turtles with mutton chops.
Right?
Found the secret ingredient.
It's like a beard hawk.
Beard hawk.
Beard hawk.
You know,
Oh my
it's
gosh,
like, you know,
we've got to brand
it's
that
like
name. We have to brand
the
that.
reverse mohawk in the
Right.
center. I mean, it's a beard minus the.
It's a beard hawk. Okay.
It's a beard hawk. Okay.
Hashtag beard
Hashtag
hawk.
beard hawk.
Hashtag.
Beard,
That's
beard hawk in the
the name of the show.
Rabbit.
Right there. This dog, for those of you, our listeners, they all know about Turtle
Arrow.
and Arrow. But Arrow has like
See,
a fascination
You
with
almost forgot
Ty.
Arrow's name.
I know, almost
See?
did.
And you-
It was
and you-
rubbing off on me.
It's a common thing. Like people telling you.
He's going to have his own show soon.
Aw,
That's fine.
he's a sweetie.
He's like, I like these. And so Halloween, I judged a
Contest.
Halloween dog costume contest, and this is like one of the sponsors from that.
Oh,
So,
cool. I like the brand wellness.
Yeah, it's all vegan kind of.
Oh my
stuff.
God, dogs are eating vegan now
Actually,
too.
it's not vegan because it's
Thank
got
God.
whitefish. So lies, but it's grain free
Yeah,
because that's a thing. No.
it is a thing. Yeah, my cat's been kind of sick this year. He's a little older and he's got IBD now. So
Oh yeah, you should bring
he's-
him over.
He's switching foods constantly, so I know this brand. He's very finicky.
You should bring him to me. I work on animals.
Oh, really?
I do.
You work on animals?
I do.
Oh, that's cool.
Horses.
Horses. Oh man. Wow.
Yeah.
I
Turtles.
fell in love with my horse on the show.
That horse.
Like,
Let's
big
talk
time.
about that horse. Minos.
Minos, yeah.
Wow.
I miss him.
What an amazing creature.
Yeah, he
'Cause,
is.
Like,
No, he really
how many
is.
hands high?
I don't know
Huge.
hands wise. I mean, he's big.
There's
He's
like
a big beast of a horse. He's kind of this mythological creature. I mean, he's part panther.
Wow.
You know, yeah,
That's
he-
cool.
Even the way he gallops is kind of like a cat running. You know, amazing. But we got really close over the 3 years. And
Did you have
I miss
to-
him. The Ferraris
yeah, they're
of
beautiful.
horses, and they did James Bond and Joan of Arc, and they fly these horses all over the world. So they're kind of these huge stars. In,
They're
in
looking at you
the
like,
horse world. You know,
"All right,
they're getting
kid,
like
what do you got?
primo treatment. And anyways, Minos, he's a huge star. You know, he knows it. And it's funny because, you know, before, like, between takes, he'll be an animal. You know, he's bothered by the flies, and he's kind of like, you know, nipping at this or that. He wants some grass or whatever. As soon as he hears action, he's like, the chest comes out, and he's a muscular creature, puffs the chest out, stoic, like strikes a pose, and then as soon as he hears cut, right back to being a horse, you know. And it's amazing, yeah. But we
He's a professional.
yeah,
That's what he does.
we had a great time together for sure.
It's such an honor to ride, you know, horses of that caliber.
Oh my
you know.
God. And like, you know, I did all my own stunts and everything over the years, and we got into some hairy situations together, and he kept me safe.
Oh,
And
wow.
you know, we kept each other safe. And it's kind of the bond that you form through that process is incredible, you know. It's like an after school special when I show up at the stable, you know. And
Yeah.
like he knows it's me, and he you know, he starts like
Oh.
making noises, and it's really
gotta
like
be
it's so
hard, though.
saccharine. It's like so gross. I'm like, please don't. It's like an after
Just
school
stop
special.
it.
Like let's happy to see you too, but let's be cool.
That has
Otherwise
to be
I'll start
hard
crying.
though. Like when you leave, it's got to be hard for you not to see him every day.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it is. It really is. But I'll see him again.
My sister is a horse breeder, and she's got all the thoroughbreds, so you can't really ride, you know, because they're race horses. And
Right.
but you know, I would go to her farm, and I'm like, oh, I want to ride that, and she's like, absolutely not.
Right.
And you know, because they're $1 million horses, you know, you're not
Yeah,
going
right.
to ride it.
Yeah, yeah.
But she, as a breeder, she would let them go, you know, and that bond, you know, from birth to,
Yeah, right.
you know, letting it. Oh man, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh.
No, I know. I asked about buying him, but he really is. He works all the time. He's really a horse star, and
He's a nana.
yeah, and he's just, you know, he's got another probably decade of work left in him. So
Yeah.
you know, we'll see.
Oh.
We'll see. But yeah, I go back in March for a fan conference, so I'm gonna make a trip.
A fan conference for what?
For the show, or for a few of the actors, you know, from the show, or
It's for Versailles.
for Versailles, yeah,
Versailles.
are doing a fan conference, you know.
What's
It's
that,
called
like-
Ascend the Throne.
I mean,
March 8th in Paris, and
What's that like?
yeah,
Is
I
it
mean,
like a
I've only
billion
done
fans, like,
I've
show up?
only done a few, you know, for Stargate Universe and I don't know, that kind of thing. I mean, Comic-Con, Snakes on a Plane, and things like that.
Yeah.
But this we'll see. I mean, it's a European, I imagine, mostly European fan base. But my guess is that maybe some people from Germany would fly over. We seem to have a lot of fans there, and also from Stargate Universe and the sci-fi world, Battlestar.
Yeah.
BSG.
BSG. I call BSG.
BSG.
Okay? Come on, man.
Of course. My bad.
I'm a real fan here.
But yeah. But yeah, there are a ton of fans in Germany for sci-fi stuff. Like
Your
Battlestar and,
fans are crazy and
are you
wonderful.
talking about?
No, but they're wonderful
Don't
crazy.
you talk about my fans like
Yeah.
that. No.
They're wonderful because I go on
They
your
are. They're
boards
great.
and I watch, you know, what they're saying, and you know, because I find it fascinating because I do all these autograph shows as you do now, because you're,
Yeah.
in that
Turtle.
that league now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been out doing.
Well, I
you know,
I don't do autograph shows. I go out I get requested to go do little art projects and stuff and interview like bands
cool.
and stuff like that.
Right on.
So it's like it's weird. It's not weird that when I make appearances, you know what I mean. It's just like. I don't even believe it. I'm like,
right.
It's but it's
Well,
very-
it's the same,
yeah.
and that feeling never goes away. I don't think. You're just
No,
like,
it's
man, if
like-
you only knew who
Yeah.
I really am.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
you
they
gotta-
know. That's why I'm like, "Hey, you still want me here? This is ridiculous."
Right. Right.
But I was watching the other day. I was looking at your boards, and when you're off season, they're still talking about it like it's happening
It's happening now.
today, and
yeah.
and they're all wondering, where is he? What's he doing?
Why isn't he posting?
Yeah,
Yeah,
is
I've
it-
noticed that lately.
Did he have
because
an accident?
I know. I need
You
I need
know.
to hop back on there because when you come back, I mean, it's a 7-month shoot, and honestly, mostly what I miss are friends and family when I'm away, of course, And so when I get back, it's 7 months of DMV trips and no, seriously, just like, oh,
Damn.
what that wasn't on auto pay
Yeah.
or like, and just trying to get your life kind of back in order, clean up, blah, blah, blah. Plus visit family and see friends, and people have had babies while I've been away. And it's not stuff that I want to post. It's not like
that would be funny. You at the DMV.
I know,
That's
right?
Just,
Like,
just
that
hilarious
would
in
be
general.
awesome.
I know, it's
That's
like-
a real
Let
life
people in.
like moment.
I could do that, but I just mean like the babies and stuff. It's not.
Well, that
it's
part
a
should
shift
be.
in it's a
Right.
shift in consciousness, or not consciousness, but it's a shift. It's a mental shift that happens when you're kind of re-entering your
Yeah.
real life after shooting for so
But
long.
you know what the problem is with fan bases? If you don't give them something, they're going to create their own story.
They're going to create their own story,
And
yeah.
then
and
that
now
becomes
I'm in the
fact.
hospital.
Yeah, and
right.
you had 6 brothers.
You're following it too. Oh my god.
Yeah.
What happened to me?
Oh my god. I'm so intrigued. How's it gonna end? I don't know. You become your own fan of yourself. Like, oh.
He got into a fight in a dive bar in New Mexico, and no one's seen him since.
Yeah. He had
Put
some
that one out there.
Yeah,
bad
that'd be great.
stuffing and Dodger cups.
Right.
That's great.
No, I take a little bit of a break just to get back to life, and now doing this show and stuff. It's like I'll get back into it. But I did notice today that there were a few comments like, "Where is he? I'm so worried."
That's awesome.
No, it's sweet,
Yeah.
and I love my fans and the fans of the show, and it's
I can't wait to watch.
it's how
the
I
show.
get to do what I do.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's so good. It's the very first episode. I binged watched the entire first season, and now I'm in hell on the second season because if I miss an episode and Ovation doesn't play it again and I don't have it on stream, I'm like
Right.
losing my mind. Well, what happened? It's
That's a lost art these
That's
days.
great that you're
It's-
watching it on,
You know?
on Ovation the first run, and you're,
yeah.
oh,
I
that's awesome.
love Ovation. I love Audience Network with Mr. Mercedes. I don't know if you've seen that,
Okay.
but you should because
Okay.
everybody from Snakes on the Plane is in that
is
cast.
in that cast.
Yes,
Oh,
and
cool.
it's so
Keenan
um
Thompson or
the
doesn't matter.
the big guy
Keenan. Wait, no,
the-
the big guy.
the black
Samuel
guy.
L. Jackson.
Not Samuel,
No.
but
I just had it.
I
knew
want to
it.
say his name is
Oh.
Brett. Brett.
All of a
he's
sudden we forget names, huh?
English actor.
Okay.
But look it up.
I'm blanking. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all
but
of a sudden
it was.
everyone's forgetting names.
It's
Oh, doesn't happen to me, Turtle. yeah, it doesn't.
I completely.
I
relate.
haven't worked.
I
I
blank
didn't work with
all
them.
the time.
I didn't
I
work.
completely relate.
If I worked with them, I would. But no, Mr. Mercedes is so brilliant.
Okay.
I'm
that
just
out.
I'm raving about that, and Kelly Lynch starring in that, and everybody else is part of that cast. Wow.
Cool. I'll check it out.
Amazing. Yeah.
Check it out.
That's another one that you can binge watch.
Right.
That's a whole new. It's a whole new.
It's all the
planet.
rage, man. It's all
You
the
know,
rage.
it's like
If you're not
you
binge
know,
watching,
10 years ago, would we be talking about binge watching? You're
Right.
like binge watching. What, go out and play, young person.
Yeah. But it kind of makes sense. Like what you were saying earlier about scheduling, booking the time to watch that show in your schedule. I mean, you have to do that. I mean, and while you've booked that time, it's this kind of, I don't know. I love it. I love just the event of it. You're looking forward to it. You've booked time in your schedule.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, this is my Stranger Things weekend.
Exactly.
And everything
Date.
else goes away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a date with,
And
your
that's
favorite show.
Awesome,
it's cool.
but
I like it.
I really like, having
episode and waiting.
Yeah, like, the other night I was on Friday. I was having a dinner party, and I left the dinner party to go watch Versailles.
Right.
And then came back because there was a whole jam going on and all of that. But I was like, oh wait,
You're gonna watch
I
it.
love
Oh,
that.
That's
and,
so cool.
And it's
Yeah.
been one of the only shows that I've been excited about, because
Oh, that's cool. Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
I love
awesome.
it. I love it.
Awesome.
I love the
We
whole.
love you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
What a great way to end. Unfortunately,
No.
I know, but you know what? Here's the thing: everything must come to an end.
Sure.
And some of us have to drive. Trying not to get
Yeah.
caught in that
Sad for
traffic.
you.
Yeah, I got to go to the DMV, so.
Oh, you gotta, dude! You're not gonna get to the DMV at this. Are you kidding me?
No,
That's not
no,
happening
dude.
today.
That's
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
That's
I already took care of that.
But
Okay.
we do want to see pictures from your average everyday life.
Yeah, I'll post some of those.
But like super average, super
Yeah,
normal.
like
Super normal,
eating
not like
in the bathtub.
not beautiful,
Yeah.
Not these gorgeous
landscape in New Mexico.
I mean, that can have,
Yeah.
that can pop in.
That can pop in.
That's a pop in.
That can pop in.
But
But you want to see like my travel mug at the cafe.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I want
flip flops.
I want to see like you with like your socks on.
Yeah.
But like one of your socks is holy or something.
Oh, yeah.
There is a sock
Yeah.
picture from.
Yeah, I posted a sock picture, but it's
See how I stopped.
But
it's a
real-
flashy sock picture.
I want a real sock.
Yeah, you want the real deal,
But you
the
know what?
plain black.
Yeah.
That's
like-
something I want to ask you before you go. The shoes on that
the
show.
boots.
How do did you have to go to a class to learn how to walk in those
Oh,
shoes?
you mean the heels?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
know.
that's terribly uncomfortable.
They are
How
back
do you-
pain, and
Oof.
it kind of it's a little taste of what you ladies must go through. I mean, it's like, yeah, at the end of the day, you're like your calves and your lower back are just killing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's funny. The first day of shooting, we were all in those heels, and no one knew how to walk in them. And you see the footage from
Yeah.
the early episodes of the first season, and every time you see someone walking in those heels, it's like clearly they do not.
Yeah.
They have never done this before. They do not know how to walk in those shoes. And then people, you get
Especially
used to
the
it.
king.
People adapt.
The king can't walk in the shoes.
He's gotten better. Everyone's gotten better.
If I was
It's so uncomfortable.
if I was the king, I just go like this, and then like a bunch of guys would just pick me up and just
yeah, exactly.
I'd make it part of like the
Yeah.
thing.
Well, you
Yeah,
need
it's
to watch
like-
the show because
I have to make it I'm gonna have downtime, but I'm not gonna have downtime this holiday season just because where I work,
Yeah.
um,
Busy time.
busy time. We're in a mall too, where
Right.
where I work, so
Oh,
this
yeah,
is
you're
mall.
gonna be inundated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I right now I'm trying to get them for the holiday season for us to have 3 or 4 days off
Cool.
a week.
Cool,
good luck
man.
with that.
And I'm like, look, we deserve at least like I have to do more than 2,
Yeah,
during
yeah.
the holiday. Like I can't, and it
Yeah.
has to be spread out. So I'm only in for a day, and then I get a day off because I can't
Yeah.
handle.
Oh, that sounds
That-
that sounds heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, I'll enjoy it because then in December I'll start watching. I don't have anything after right now. I'm watching. What am I watching right now? I'm watching The Punisher right now.
Oh yeah.
Because
how is that?
Oh man, well, here's the thing. I'm extremely biased because I'm a Marine. So and of course.
Oh really?
Yeah, and it's about a Marine. So it's everything is just like just jack off material for me. I'm like, oh my god,
oh cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so, so it's just a big stroke, for the Marine Corps.
Well, I love that character, man. I love the comics.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Great character. Yeah. The guy one of the guys in there, he was on Girls. And so I was a big Girls fan. I watched Girls on HBO. That was like one of my favorite binges, too, when I got the app,
Yeah, right.
And he's on there, and I hated his character on Girls. Well, here's the thing. On Girls, I hated all the guys except for one guy. But that's maybe I don't know if that's the way it was written or whatever. But there's only one guy that I really liked, and he was a coffee shop owner. Just because there were these stupid scenes where he'd be in there, and like in a coffee shop, you're always cleaning, but like his cleaning was like super excessive. Of like he would get like there's one episode he's talking to the girl and he's cleaning the interior of like the creamer, And he's just going over it with the white cloth for like 3 hours, and I'm just like, if you worked at my cafe, you'd be fired immediately. That's a waste of
your time.
Yeah, your time cleaning that. Like, just throw it in the sink, wash it, and plop it out. But this guy was just overindulging, like, and I'm like,
that's funny.
But that's what made me like him. You know what I mean?
Sure. Oh man, cool. Do you guys game? Gamers? Video games?
No.
That was my Thanksgiving. Was Assassin's Creed, the new one, Ancient Egypt.
Heck yeah.
Actually.
Oh.
Yep, I have some friends who do voices on that.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I'd love to do voices for games.
Oh really?
Yeah, trying to get into it. Well, not trying too hard, but I would love to do that. Yeah. It's cool.
Lead you in that direction.
Is that? I hear it's kind of it's a tight knit group, right? I mean, once you get in there,
you get friends.
That's cool.
Arrow, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, I know Mario, so
You know Mario?
Yeah.
Like the Mario.
I wish I did.
Vitaly.
But I'll tell you one time I was super into gaming. It happened. It was the one time it took over my entire life. I was playing Final Fantasy VII.
Oh yeah.
And it took over my one Thanksgiving. This is the only time I missed a Thanksgiving because of a game. Because I was so into it. And my uncle came, like all these people that I rarely see came over, but I was just locked in my room like, oh my God, this game is so cool.
Yeah.
They're like, don't you want to come and say hi to us? In a minute. I'm trying to upgrade this materia, man.
Yeah.
They're like, what the hell are you talking about? Yeah. That was a fun time.
Cut it out. You're so rude. Arrow's being very rude. I just
seen family last week, so my Thanksgiving was free, more or less.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
For me, it's all the football.
Football, yeah, for sure.
Yep, that's my
That's
life.
what it's now turned into now. It's like,
it's just like the Broncos this year. I'm just. It's not like I'm giving up. It's not a good year.
You're giving in.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a good year, so it's kind of, it takes a little bit of the luster off of it.
I gave you the bag. Seriously.
We should have signed Kaepernick. Kaepernick was
you still can.
Available. I know, but like it feels like they went all in on the idea that depth at the quarterback position would somehow replace Peyton Manning, having one superstar, great quarterback. I didn't understand that thinking, and Kaepernick was on the table to be signed back in August. Broncos were talking about it seriously.
Man. He was so blackballed. What they did to him was not
brutal.
Cool.
It's not cool. Not cool at all. And I thought that could have been a cool thing for the team too. Was that we have Vance Joseph in the head coaching position. I mean, bring on Kaepernick and make it a point. you know, and make it. I don't know. Politicizing the team a little might not have been a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like, why everyone's so concerned about being kind of neutral or let's just focus on the game or whatever. And I just thought, well, why would that be a bad thing?
That'd put more people in the seats, if anything.
Exactly. It's anyways. The point is that he's a great quarterback, regardless of the message or his resistance, which I completely agree with. But aside from that, he's a great player, and we needed a great person in the quarterback position. Anyways.
Yeah, I feel terrible for you.
Yeah, right.
Not at all. I feel no pain for the Denver Broncos. I'm sorry, but the Eagles, go Birds all the way.
Yeah.
Chargers are in the hunt, man.
Chargers
are not.
I don't know, man. The Rams, however.
Those Rams.
The Rams,
I know,
on the other hand.
I know.
They're having a good year.
Oh, you know what I hated was this whole concept of these two teams are fighting for LA, and I'm like,
the fight for LA.
Yeah, I'm like, well, the Rams won that, but
that's true.
I was so pissed. I was like, dude, why are you trying to create that rivalry? Like, you guys are growing this completely about all wrong.
Right. Yeah,
that
was built in. You're right. Every time you go into Vaughn's, it's like the fight for LA. Posters everywhere.
Yeah, I'm like, well,
and for Vaughn's, all of our listeners out there who are not in California, Vaughn's is a grocery store.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like King Soopers.
Yeah, or Albertsons,
or Albertsons,
or Publix, or.
What do you guys agree, or do you guys have like an NFC and an AFC team?
You know what?
Or do you do that?
I'm a very loyal person, so I
have your team.
I just have my team, and that's it.
I respect that.
I've always wanted to have an NFC team, but because due to loyalties and contract negotiations, I'm a Charger fan.
Yeah.
But cool. I do like the Saints only because of Drew Brees, and he was a Charger, and I was there during his stay as a Charger, and I loved him as a Charger. And then when he left, I was really pissed. I mean, not at him, but at management, because then they brought this fucking guy Rivers, and I was even more pissed with him. But I was happy to see Drew Brees get a ring, when he left, and I was like, I'm happy for the players that
leave and go on and do great things. Yeah, of course, right. No, so I'm like diehard Broncos fan. It's all I really pay attention to. But I've always kind of liked the idea, maybe an NFC team. So maybe the Rams. I don't know.
Now they're an LA team.
Live in LA, man.
I
can see the fire behind the eyes. Like, what? The fight for real. It's real, man. How could you?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And it's funny too, because I always tell people, like, well, the Chargers, when they started out, they were first LA Chargers.
That's right.
And then they moved to San Diego. They were only here for a year, So I'm like, if you guys want to get all minutia about it, we can, but it's neither here nor there or whatever.
Right. Well, yeah. So it was the LA Chargers. So LA's had the Raiders, the Chargers, and the Rams.
Yeah.
In the past.
They don't know what to do.
No. Well, but here's the thing.
But why did they all leave? It was just people stopped going to the games. And
it's just stadiums and stuff like that.
Stadiums.
Better offerings.
Better offers, right.
Yeah, so it's just like
money issues.
Yeah.
That's always what it turns out
But
to
here's
be.
the thing, like, LA is such a cultural city. It's one of the most diverse cities. And I know people are like, well, New York's a very diverse. Yeah, but I'm like, they all love the New York teams. Where it's like here, everybody just comes, to LA, but they already have their teams in hand. It's not like they're switching their team automatically just because they live here.
Right.
So that's one very unique thing about LA and the sports culture.
Yeah.
That surrounds us. Is that it like for me? I was like, we shouldn't even have football here. If anything, football should just be showcased here. you know, but we bring in 2 other teams, like how they do in Mexico and London.
Right,
They
right,
just
right.
bring 2 random teams here, and then we'll go
do
and watch it. Yeah,
Right. Interesting.
yeah,
Because
because
baseball is huge,
Yeah.
obviously.
because the whole thing too about LA culture is the barbecue.
Yeah. Well,
You know.
that's true.
Yeah.
It's all about the tailgate.
Yeah, it's all about
Yeah.
the tailgate,
Tailgate.
but they don't really allow that. You know, at Charger Stadium, you could tailgate for $100.
I know.
And that's
See, that's-
bullshit.
I
That's
saw that.
stupid.
It was like,
That's just stupid.
whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I'm like, I'll
That's
sneak
crazy.
in sushi and we'll just sit in my car real quick. That's tailgate. All right.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah, in Miami, it's dolphin
Right.
tailgating. It's like
You gotta
it's
do-
what we do.
It's what,
It's
yeah,
what we
it's what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you come by boat.
Right,
You
right,
know,
right.
you tailgate in your boat, and
That's
then you
cool.
tailgate in your
That's
trucks.
cool.
Well,
Yeah.
one thing I always did want to change about the NFL, and I've said this many a times, is I wanted to change the All-Star game. Because that, you know, like at the end of the
Yeah.
year, they do the
The Pro Bowl or
the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
I wanted to change it to something completely a fun, interactive experience with the fans.
Okay.
Where it's the
Where you
Pro
vote.
Bowl.
Oh,
Well, here's the thing: everybody gets in, right? All the Pro Bowlers get in,
Okay.
but they have drills with the quarterbacks, and that becomes like, okay, these are the quarterbacks. The linemen, though, I wanted them to pair up with the celebrity chef, and then and then and then them do a tailgate, and then the fans can eat the tailgate
amazing.
of those people. You know,
Oh, very cool.
you know, I wanted.
Yeah, so it's like a pregame kind of event or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
instead of
I
this
dig
this
that.
stupid, you know, like we're
I'd
gonna have a
watch that,
game,
man.
but there's not gonna be any tackling, and
Right.
you know, it's just essentially just a big throw off. You know, we're just throwing the ball everywhere.
Sure, sure.
It's not fun. You know what I mean? And
Right.
It's not really.
No, I like
interactive.
that. Yeah, it's not as interactive or, I guess they got to prepare for a
We'll have
game,
to-
but hey, it's the Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
The season's over.
and maybe the game is just it's like flag football, but no linemen.
Right.
It's just you
well,
know.
they're already kind of taking it easy in that game.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't. No one wants a serious injury in the
Yeah.
Pro Bowl. That's a disaster.
Which is
But it
why you
happens.
take out that stuff, you know what I mean, and you make it more
Make
fun.
it more of a fun kind
Yeah.
of,
Experience.
I'm on board, man.
See, I
Let's
like
do that.
I like all blood sports. If there's
blood
no
sports?
blood involved, then
Well,
I
there's-
So
really-
UFC?
Yeah.
You like?
Well,
I
you know
love
what?
UFC.
Oh,
I'm-
me
That's
too.
that's what I feel.
Huge fan.
I was
I don't
so
know.
glad when UFC came into the market because I was like, finally, Mortal Kombat in real life.
Right.
You know, I was like, oh, I just wish there was a finish him. You know, like finish him. Like, oh my god. Yeah.
Where are the lightning bolts?
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's
Right.
It's everything I've ever wanted in a sport. Everything.
Right.
The even the ring girls are like the hottest ever. they're hotter than the boxing girls. They're hotter than the cheerleaders. And my favorite move
all
is
he
when
cares about.
when the girl walks out of the ring and sits on her chair and she looks at the camera and then she
Oh yeah,
kisses-
blows the kiss.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm like, that's to
you're
me.
done. It's to
It's
me.
to me. It has to be. I love it. I'm the only guy that falls for
Right.
it. I'm the only one. I'm
Right.
like, oh, to me.
Right.
I'm grabbing it out of the air. Like, that was to me. Yeah.
No, I'm obsessed.
That's
yeah,
cute.
George St. Pierre, he won me over back in the day. I kind of, I wasn't a fan. I didn't know much about it, although I'd been a martial artist for many years. I was more in the traditional martial arts vein of thinking and kind of viewed that as like, oh, well, they're just like, it's a bar fighter. It's some kind of no holds barred, like some big guy just like taking on a kung fu fighter, kind of a freak show thing. And then I started watching some interviews, won me over, and I thought, okay, let's see this guy. He's a champion, respect for martial arts and what he's doing, and it's a sport, it's a competition. So already I'm like, okay, let's check this out. And from that point on, I've just been obsessed. I just, after being a fan of GSP for a long time, then I was a fan of Minotauro Nogueira and tons of guys, and realized that actually these are elite athletes.
Oh, yeah.
And they're all very experienced, skilled martial artists competing in a relatively safe environment. I mean, it's it's a real sport. Yeah, well,
And I said this, and I was like, I wish I could call Connor, because I would have been like, first round, you just put him in a break his leg. Break his leg.
Yeah.
Yes, you're disqualified.
Yeah.
Yes. You'll be it'll be extremely scathing, but you will have everybody's respect.
Just bite his ear.
And you will be the most feared, because no one after that will ever know what you're capable of doing. Anytime you step into that ring, you're going to be the most lethal person, because that shows that you don't care.
You don't give a shit.
Yeah, you're like, sure, I'll say whatever it is in order to get in the ring with you, but then I'm going to break your legs.
That's interesting.
No.
That's interesting.
That's
well, I mean, he did really well. I think the first few rounds, but as I think the outcome was expected, and it happened the way it was supposed to happen.
But boxing
he
is
did
all
really well.
Overtrained. I think he overtrained for that match. Yeah.
Boxing is all points, you know what I mean? And and I get it, because there is no they don't know what to do if nobody gets knocked out. There needs to be a decided winner.
Right.
But that's what I love about MMA. There is no it's no, man. Yeah. Someone's getting knocked out. That's it. That's the only way to win.
Or choked out, or
there is no points.
I mean, people are winning on points now by decision. More and more, but it's I love all of the options, and the different aspects of the sport and the game, and it's when it goes to the ground, and then you're watching wrestling and jiu-jitsu, and it's just the ultimate competition. One person against another. It's locked in a cage. It's crazy.
Awesome.
I love it.
Awesome.
I like the Queen's rules, traditional boxing.
What is that?
That's what hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, but what are the Queen's rules? How does that differ? That's the
Brian May has to be judging
first
and foremost.
Those are the original rules.
Yeah, that's the original
That's
rules.
The original rules
how
of
boxing,
okay.
Was laid out, and it was a gentleman's fight.
Sure.
And and MMA is so not a gentleman's fight. It's to the death basically which I kind of like.
But it's really, but it is really quite safe. I mean, they you can't get knocked down. Well, yeah, you can get knocked down repeatedly, but there's not that count to, like, if someone can stand up back on can get back on their feet after a 6 count, then fight's on still. I mean,
but one good shot to your femur and you're done.
Well, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true too. But those TKOs in MMA and UFC, it's like, it just happens once. Mm-hmm. If the ref thinks that you're out of it,
but that's all it takes.
It's over. Which is kind of, I think, honestly, is a bit safer. It's then it's done. You're not going to be forced to suffer through, excessive brain damage or getting knocked down, nearly knocked out repeatedly over and over again. It's like, once the ref decides, okay, you're out of it. You're seeing stars and you're out. He calls it. So I mean, I think.
And to add to that, like, the MMA is the only sport where at the end, when it's finally done and over and there's a winner, the both guys, they don't like talk shit to each other. They just like hug each other or whatever. And
it does seem respectful.
It's a little bit more.
Yeah, they might trash talk leading up to the fight to kind of promote it, and I don't know, put some extra flair on it, some WWE style promotion. But after the fact, they all seem really respectful. It's cool.
For sure. And I'm a big fan of Joe Rogan. So,
of course, man. He's great, too.
The guy that they got rid of, his old partner, I love, though, too.
Oh,
he was just so enthusiastic.
They don't have him anymore,
Yeah, they got rid of him.
Oh, wow. When was that?
Oh, that was like a year ago.
See, you've been away.
No, but I mean, it's like, because they were using Dan Hardy and they were using a few other announcers when Joe Rogan was actually kind of taking a break. He seemed to be doing more of his podcasts and stand-up and stuff. So they were cycling through a few guys, but you're right. What's his name?
I love that guy, though, man.
Oh, man. Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah, anytime what I love is like all the MMAs that they have. They now put together like 5 years later, and they now they show all those fights on the reruns, like on the UFC channel or whatever, or on the UFC. All the like they always show like UFC Reloaded. You know, it's all the best fights.
Right.
You know, and I love that too because it's like, well, I didn't get to watch it on pay-per-view, but 3 years later, hey, here it is. All right, cool.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, it's good, man. I've got the app and
Oh, do you got to give me your I'm like, you got to give me your password.
Yeah, do it on the air.
Yeah. Give me your dude, because you get you get all the pay-per-views, you get the channel, and all that. Yeah, I was checking that out because I was like, oh man, this is a cool app.
It's cool.
Especially because like it's Chromecast supported, so I enjoy that because because everything's like on your phone, but I'm not a phone person. I'm like, oh, let me put it to the TV because I don't like having to hold it like this, or I don't know. It's having a screen too close to me. I feel like I'm a kid again watching like cartoons.
Sure, yeah.
And I want to be a little bit more manly when I watch my stuff. You know?
Yeah, put it on the screen.
Yeah, so I put it on the TV.
Yeah,
and
I like that too.
Yeah, and that has that capability. So yeah, very cool.
No, it is good.
Okay, we gotta go because you gotta give me your passwords and stuff. Max, thank you for bringing in Ty. Thank you for letting me meet him. She was very hesitant. She's like, you know what? She says me in email, be your best behavior. Like, what the fuck do you expect? Like, what do you expect? Like,
I expect you to be the way you are.
Which is
terribly offensive.
Why would you say that?
Because you're you, and I get the emails after your partner.
Never. You should forward me those. I bet you that doesn't exist. I bet you that doesn't exist. No.
No, come on.
That can't. That can't. Look at me. I'm the most lovable person ever.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
And ever.
No, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thank you for coming all the way from France. Just for us.
All the way from Silver Lake, France.
Oh, Silver Lake. Nice.
See, now people know too much.
Yeah.
No worries.
So we're gonna do some shouts,
and then are we debuting a song with the new band?
Oh, my current band, Corridor.
Yeah.
Corridor. Tell us a little bit about Corridor.
Oh, you said that with
quick.
an accent.
Corridor with it's the Spanish spelling.
Nice.
Yeah, Corridor. That's just because Corridor was already taken.
Oh, I see. So you just throw in a different
Well, I guess by someone in LA who was doing like electronic sort of laptop rock, had the name and wasn't really doing much at the time, but we just thought, well, we'll go with it's CORREDOR, and
See? Close. I was close.
There you go. Nice.
So what made you want to go and do this project real quick? Of Corridor.
Sorry, what's that?
What made you want to do this project?
Oh, well, kind of an interesting story. It was three of the guys who we were doing another music project with our friend Don Jose Ruiz, where we were doing these guided meditations. He was kind of doing tours to like New Age churches in Sedona, and really interesting kind of experience and opportunity to be involved in, providing musical accompaniment to these dreaming workshops, or like kind of guided meditation dreaming. And so really like lots of ambient guitar and loops and some piano and pretty low key. And three of the guys out of that group kind of just, we wanted to rock out. We wanted to, just start a band for fun and kind of just like, rent a practice space and see what happens and start writing music. And the more we got together, the more we just loved that trio and that dynamic, and we were being really productive, creative, like there's
a band with actors in it.
Oh yeah, I mean, and it's, you know, I've been in touring bands too, and I've done that already, and that wasn't really a part of this. It wasn't, the idea wasn't to make it a career for any of us. It was really just to write music, and what we do together, I think, gels really nicely. There's a magic there. There's a power there. So we just wanted to have fun with it, but you know, play shows too. Maybe, you know, submit to some festivals and do that kind of thing, but not focus on, we gotta hit the road for 8 weeks, play every night, maybe one day off in 2 months, and like, forget that. It's, you know, I think rough. Those days, it's rough. That's a rough life. I have friends who still live that life, and yeah, it's great if you're still into it, and but I was over that. So yeah, this is pretty low key.
Nice.
Max,
yeah.
we
Okay.
we only
yeah.
have
All
a couple
right.
minutes.
All right.
Seriously.
Well, you keep yabbering, and I don't get to show.
50 seconds. Like 50 seconds.
Shit. I want to say a thank you to my sponsors, Here Gear and Here Technologies. I love all of your gear. If you're a musician and you are in the studio or doing live projects, you should check out their stuff. I'll be at NAMM representing them this year in January. So come out and see me over at the Here Gear.
Really? You're going to be in the...
Oh, nice.
The tent?
Yeah. I'm going
to,
cool. You know, do some demo stuff for them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Zemaitis Guitars, I will also jump over to their booth and see them. They're amazing. If you are a guitar player, you should check out their stuff.
Okay.
Zemaitis Guitars.
Very beautiful guitars.
Thank you to all of them over there for, sponsoring me.
And remember, if any of this is not sticking, log on to entertheshell.com, and there you'll see the banners. You can click, find out more information on these great guys.
Yes.
Cool.
Very much. Go see my films. My films are, I've got a few coming out in the theaters this January. Astro will be out. Death House, which is all of the horror icons of all time in one film. It's going to be ridiculously good. I did a kids movie that's out coming in like another week or so, called A Doggone Adventure. And that's for Sony and Talking Dogs and, adventure.
Cute.
So that's
What
it's
dog
adorable.
are you?
I'm not the dog.
What are you, like
maybe
the
the
owner
next
of one of them?
I watched the
can't-
film.
Damn
Watched the film. Yeah, I know. It's horrible. I'm about to start production on a film called Black Widows with Massim. I'm going to call him Max because his first name is difficult. Massimiliano, whatever. Sriracha, who's a brilliant filmmaker. I'm going to do that with
And
Michael
great
Pare.
sauce.
Yeah, holy cow. Just Max. It's Max and Max. So that is going to be in production. Astro is going to be in theaters. Did I mention that? But it's awesome. Hell's Kitty is coming out to theaters. Smoke-Filled Lungs is out now. Attack of the Bimbos, it's not what it seems. Don't think I'm a bimbo. I'm not a bimbo. It's something different. It's aliens. If you are so inclined, go see my bands that are out on the road. Who's out? Who's out on the road? LA Guns. LA Guns is out on the road for sure. Alien Ant Farm just returned from South Africa.
South Africa.
Yeah, they played over there to
cool.
crazy crowds and
great.
got treated like kings, as all bands should.
Well, not all bands.
No,
not all bands.
but my bands, my bands should.
But they do anyways.
Yeah.
Ty Fury is out with Chris Young and those people, and they tonight are playing at the Grand Ole Opry, so
Very
go
cool.
out and see. Well, it was tonight. It's not tonight.
You missed it. It was great.
It was fantastic. All of my other bands, because I can't mention you right now because of this guy who's a pain in our ears.
Hey man, if we had 3 other guests on and we're doing 3 other shows, you could mention them. But like, next time. Okay, Max.
Yeah, so that's that's about it.
I just got to give a shout out to unless you have more.
No,
I've got a quick shout out to my cousin Adam in Denver.
Hi, Adam.
It's his birthday today, and he's a great, phenomenal hip hop DJ. He never stopped doing it. He's been doing it since back in the day. So he's a scratch master.
Ooh.
And it's his birthday today. So happy birthday, Adam.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
There you go.
To you.
DJ Tense.
DJ Tense.
That's a cool name.
DJ Wiki. Tense.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's cool shit. Check it out.
For sure.
Yeah. To all of the fans of Versailles, thank you for allowing us to have the amazing Ty Runyon on the show today. Because
like they were gonna
I was worried that they were gonna have you tied and bound and not let you leave France.
Hi guys. Thanks. Love you.
You had to leave like nobody knew.
I had to sneak under the radar.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's what happens. You're a big fat star.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well,
we're just big and fat.
Literally everything's run out, so we got
Everything.
to go. Thank you so much again for coming on. And we'll have all the links to your Twitters, your Instagrams, and all that social media stuff on the show notes. Thanks again. Okay,